Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Cohn phone. I'm going to take calls for the next 2 hours. First, I want to kick off the discussion with what's on my mind. I'm going to get to that in a second. Had an interesting night last night. Stayed up to about 1. Went out to dinner with East Bay Chris and his wife. Had a great time. Then we met up with a couple of my friends from high school at George and Waltz in Oakland, which has not changed at all, if you know what George and Waltz is like. Anyway, so it's like my buddies are playing pool, and I'm just hanging out, and I don't really feel like playing pool. And there's a jukebox, and I never used the jukebox, but there was like, a lot of like Slayer and heavy metal getting played. I was like, man, I could really go for some Mac Dre. So I actually went up and put money in the jukebox for the first time in my life. I know I'm cheap. And I put the dollar in and I picked the song, and they never played it. So I went back a half hour later. I put another dollar in, picked the same song. They never played it. What is that? How does that thing work? What the hell is the deal with that? They took, and I ended up spending a third one on that. Third, but $3 into a jukebox. Did they play it at like 4 a.m. when I left? How does that work? Anyway, that was upsetting. So I want to come here today and be positive. A lot of times I come on here and my shtick is to be negative and to rip on the players. And I think you guys find it entertaining. And there's a time and a place, especially after losses and such. But this team hasn't lost this year. And they haven't gotten in trouble. No one's gotten hurt in a while. No one's gotten arrested. So I figure today's a good day to praise some people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it off by saying who I consider the most underrated player on the team. And then you guys can take over and name other people if you want. If you want to bring some recognition to someone you think isn't getting it. Today is the day of recognition for players who don't get it. Okay? So the way I'm looking at this, most underrated player on the team, I'm going with the starter, not a backup. So that, eliminates Ross Dwelly, Richie James Jr., Kevin Givens, a lot of players I love and believe it. I'm looking for guys hiding in plain sight in the starting lineup. Most underrated starter on the team. You could go with someone on defense. You could go with Jimmy Ward. He's been really good the last couple of years. He's been good for a very long time. He's been healthy the last couple of years. You could go with Jason Verrett, Dre Greenlaw. But I want to go on offense. It's someone I talk about a lot during the season. I always say they got to get this guy the ball more often. And I rant and rave about it after games. I praise the Niners when they get on the ball. Kyle Juszczyk, I think, is underrated, which is weird. Everyone acknowledges that he's the best fullback in the game. He makes the Pro Bowl every year. But there are no other fullbacks. He's the only fullback, really. And he makes it kind of by default. I think some people feel like fullback shouldn't even be a position anymore in the Pro Bowl, that you could go 3 wide receivers or 2 tight ends or whatever, and that he's kind of like a dinosaur. But he is really, really good. If you just think of him as a pass catcher, forget the position. He scored 6 touchdowns last year and 36 touches. He, for his career, has always been a very efficient receiver in the sense that good things happen when you throw him the ball, even going back to Baltimore. It's an interesting stat. I like to look at quarterback rating when targeted. I find it interesting. How efficient is a quarterback when he throws to you? Do good things happen or do bad things happen? Is there a high completion percentage or a low completion percentage? Are there a lot of interceptions or a lot of touchdowns? Well, going back to Juszczyk, his whole career, which started in 2015, his quarterback rating when targeted is 105.8. That's incredibly high. To put that in context, George Kittle's quarterback rating when targeted is 106. So George Kittle is seen as a superstar because he is. And Juszczyk is seen as a nice part-time player who, you give him the ball once or twice a game, but no more than that. I disagree. I feel like Juszczyk, and I've been saying this for years, is an offensive weapon, but isn't used that way and should be getting 4 or 5 touches a game because good things happen when he gets the ball. On par with George Kittle. They both make things happen. I would have to say that Juszczyk actually extends and catches the ball away from his frame better than Kittle does. He's not as fast as Kittle, but he's fast. He's a hell of a player. Kyle Juszczyk, most underrated on the team. They give him a lot of money. They praise him. They let him speak for the offense. He's definitely the voice of the offense. He's the smartest player in the offense. He's the brains of the offense. But they don't give him the ball that much. And when they do, they score touchdowns. So Kyle Juszczyk, get him the ball. The fact that they don't really have a number 3 receiver right now, that's fine by me, because the guys who should be getting targets on this team are George Kittle, Brandon Aiyuk, Deebo Samuel, Kyle Juszczyk, and Ross Dwelly. Those 5. I had to slide Ross Dwelly in there. Just so you know, for context, his quarterback rating when targeted, quarterback's rating when targeting Ross Dwelly, his career, 3 years, 107.1. So that's another guy who deserves a little bit more workload. It seems to me if the Niners if Kyle Shanahan focuses passing plays on the 2 tight ends, the fullback, and the 2 wide receivers, you could throw an occasional pass to a running back, an occasional pass to a number 3 receiver, great. But those 5 guys should lead the team in targets. Juszczyk should be up 50, 60 targets in the season, not 30. So Juszczyk, most underrated on the team. Get him the ball. Ross Dwelly too. I'd love to hear what you guys think, who you guys think are underrated players as well. Luis says, yesterday a friend of mine showed me Instagram post Melvin Ingram signed by Niners. 2-year deal. Is that true? Appreciate all your work. No, that's not true. Don't believe anything you see on Instagram. No, I would have told you about that, man. If the Niners assigned Melvin Ingram, I would have let you know. You didn't have to donate $20 for this either, but I appreciate it. So I'm curious to see who you guys think is underrated, but we don't have to talk about that either. We can talk about whatever you want. Remember, no cursing, no fussing, no cussing. And the 5-minute rule is strictly in effect except for Shardol. Shardol has 20 questions for me today. It's going to be a lightning round. It'll take about 10 minutes. Everyone else, 5 minutes. Everyone else, 1 topic, 2 tops. All right? Let me get the link for you guys. Okay. All right, it's in the description. And boom, in the chat. I like giving Juszczyk props. He's a forgotten man. Sometimes I forget to put him in my grades because it's like running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. What is he? He's an offensive weapon. Hey, Sai.
Hey, Grant, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. So Shardol is not there on the line yet?
Shardol's not here yet, but he should be here soon. He's in the Discord too, so he's starting to spread his wings.
All right. That's wonderful. Yeah. I'm glad we figured out his Twitter account. Yeah,
absolutely.
That was a bummer.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Here, I want to start off, Grant, by talking about the analysis that you did this week. I thought it was really interesting. The salary cap, using the salary cap to figure out the roster construct. I thought that was very interesting. The conversation that you had with Wish, and I think I felt it was a good analysis. And also the one that Steve Jobs yesterday brought up regarding the draft pick and how cutting Jimmy Garoppolo equates to actually gaining draft picks. I thought that was pretty interesting too.
Very clever. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And one thing that I felt, which Niners probably should take into account in this roster construction is also the amount of money that goes in IR is what I felt. Because
yes,
that could completely change again all of these dynamics, right? Because they end up spending so much money on the IR list, and
that's the thing with Jimmy. You know, as soon as he gets hurt, then the money's on IR, and you're like, you have the cheapest roster in the league.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's all even more reason that they need to get rid of him before the season starts or renegotiate his contract.
Yes.
The thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about, it's a little bit of an offbeat topic, but we discussed this briefly earlier. What I'm curious is to see is like with this longer season now, how the teams are going to handle some of these games, which are almost scheduled losses, right? Which is similar to what the Niners are now going to experience with Tennessee. So if you look at the Niners, one thing that is against them, and we have talked about this, is their bye week is coming way too early.
Yes.
Now, if you take that, and I think there was an analysis done that I think no team has won the Super Bowl if you don't have a bye week after week 7 or week 8.
Is that right?
So, yeah, something. Whoa. Like if your bye week is like way ahead in the game, like you typically don't make it all the way because it's just way too exhausting.
You have you have this long stretch that you would have to go on to win the Super Bowl. Yes,
exactly. Plus, if you take that and the fact that now only one team gets the bye in the playoffs, it just makes it even more challenging for somebody like Niners. I mean, unless they get the number 1 seed, they're going to go through this like huge stretch of games without any break at all. So I'm wondering, sort of like more like the NBA style, whether Niners should view that Tennessee game as a scheduled loss and rest their starters and just go with play with your backups and see, like, I mean, like it's not a division game, it's not even a conference game. Just take it as a loss, treat it as an extra bye week, and maybe that way you're energized for the stretch run in the playoffs. It's
a very interesting thought. My only thing that I would ask you is, what if they were in contention for the number 1 seed?
Yeah,
that's the only reason.
That's the only thing. Yeah, they will have to figure out. I mean, they have to look at their record, see what are the games that are coming up before it, after it, and they got to make that call. And also in football, it's a little bit more difficult because you don't have enough number of players who dress up to really rest players. But I'll be really curious because I know that the Players Association, they asked for an extra bye week with the longer season, right? Which they were not.
That could be the extra bye week.
That could be the extra bye week, and
and
I almost feel
right before playoffs, right there.
Yeah, and I almost feel that once a team starts doing this, like, I mean, it's ultimately the players and coaches' decision, right? And all it takes is one team. Of course, it'll create big news waves, and you don't want a national TV game to go with the backups. It's not good for the NFL or the TV ratings, but
they do it in the NBA.
Yeah, they do it in the NBA.
They do it in the NBA. It's a very interesting thought, and it seems like a player's coach will do this. Could be Kyle. It could definitely be Kyle, especially if you feel like you're out of contention for the number 1 seed. You're fighting for the whatever. You know, you're going to be in the playoffs, but you're not going to have a bye. So here's your bye. Exactly. Right at the end. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, because you have important games coming. You have the Rams game coming up in that week 18. So you got to really conserve yourself to have those like big games. And if one team does it, and I think maybe that'll make NFL reconsider also whether we want to give an extra bye week, because otherwise the season is way too long, I think, for some other players.
Yeah. Maybe teams will all be taking an extra. Well, teams, it seems like the Niners, it sets up well for the 49ers. They're going to have this long stretch. If they need a bye week, they can take that game against the Titans, because that's going to be tough to win.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you look at last year, Pittsburgh got messed up. I mean, they were on this really good start, and they didn't get their bye week at all. They got messed up because of the COVID. Yeah. And I feel that the players last year, I mean, they were extremely frustrated that they didn't get the bye week. And if you look at the second half of the season, the performance went down. So that bye week is so critical for the players.
Especially the Niners, the second oldest team in the league. They're going to need to catch their breath at some point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Great call, son. Right. That's very interesting. I hadn't thought about that at all, but I think that's something that the coaches should be thinking about. Good call.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'm going to put this in the quality control segment. You're now quality control. You just got hired. Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
I'm gonna jump Gavin to the front of the line because it's like evening over there in Wales. You know what I'm saying? And plus, it's Gavin. What's up, Gavin?
Croeso in Cymru! Yes! Welcome to Wales! Yes! So I take my dog for a walk, guys.
What a nice setting.
Thank you very much. But is the water too much? Can you hear the water?
I can't hear the water at all. No, it's perfect.
Brilliant. Right, so my underrated player for the season, right here, I think it's going to be Mike McGlinchey. Right, I've just got a funny feeling he's been putting weight on. Right, I've just got a funny feeling he's going to listen to all the criticism that you gave him last year, Grant, and he's going to turn it around and turn it into a positive. He is, right, and he's going to be a star offensive lineman for us next season. He is, like, so I was going to say Juice and agree with you because he's my boy, but I thought I'm going to go say something different, and I'm going to say Monsieur McFloppy. So he's going to turn it all around. He's going to turn it all around right here, and this is his year. Right, so I've got a question for you.
Sure.
Right, when are the captains announced for the 49ers?
Right before the season starts. Like
Just
right
before
after
the
the 53-man roster is announced, or right before week 1. Yes.
Right. So if Kyle Shanahan doesn't make Juice a captain this year, is that an example of his inability to evaluate talent?
Oh man, I don't think leadership and captains and talent go together. It would be an inability to accurately assess who's leading this team. In my opinion. I mean, hold on. Who were the captains last year? Let me
We
see.
talked about it last time, didn't we?
Garoppolo, Kittle, McGlinchey,
yeah.
Trent Williams, Eric Armstead, Richard Sherman, Fred Warner. No, it should be
Armstead,
Kyle
what's Armstead
Juszczyk.
doing?
It should be
Kyle's got to
Juszczyk.
be on there. If he doesn't make it this year, I'm gonna riot for sure. I am definitely gonna riot.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's gonna be riot in Wales. I feel it, man. I will come to Wales and join that. It'll be me and you right there.
Yeah, riot in.
Right here.
Well,
Yes.
picking sticks. Come on in, make Juice a captain. I'll pick it all day, mate.
That's right.
Yeah, right then. Oh yeah, like I'll show you. I can't say his name. I'll show you. Yeah, right. He is going to be another top pick for next season as well. I think he's going to have a massive season. I think the only reason he isn't looked at as probably as well as what he should be is the fact that he's playing next to somebody as awesome as Warner. I think because Warner's so good, I think it takes away from him slightly. Do you mean? But I think he's going to have a top season like that. Do you mean? Yeah, without a doubt.
I think there's a lot in common, a lot of similarities between Azeez Al-Shaair and Dre Greenlaw. And everyone loves Dre Greenlaw. We're going to start to see more from Azeez. He runs and hits very hard. He's good.
He does.
He's
a massive man. Yeah, did you watch the Wales game yesterday?
I didn't get to see it. Did they lose?
4-0.
Oh,
terrible. We got destroyed, mate. Do you mean?
Sorry to hear that. Hey, you didn't lose though. Just wipe your hand across your mouth and move on, because that doesn't reflect on you. That's the best thing about being a fan. Yeah, I don't lose.
That's it. And then that's it. Yeah. Right, yeah, no, let's go 49 yards. Let's go.
Great to see you, Gavin.
Thank you very much, Grant. Look at that. Bye.
All right, take care. A+. Guy kills it every time. Hold on. We got a couple people. We got Shardol's here. I'm going to let Aldara go first, though. Ladies first. Hey, Aldara, how you doing?
Hi. How are you, friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I have a question. Well, I've had two.
Okay, first, before you came on yesterday, I didn't know that you're the #1 Jimmy Garoppolo defender. I didn't know, but I checked. I see. Okay, all respect. All respect. Go ahead.
One is a petition. I'm going to ask you to follow Alfredo Gutierrez more closely, because I need
I absolutely will.
Feedback from my boy. And
here's the thing, real quick, on him. What's going to happen is the first couple of days in training camp, they'll do practice without pads like they did in OTAs, but then they'll put the pads on and they'll do these one-on-one competitions where it'll be like him against Nick Bosa or whoever. And it's very dramatic. It's very violent, and I'll be right there. So I'll tell you exactly who he goes up against, when he wins, when he doesn't, that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's a petition. And the second, do you think that Sherman is going to come back to the team?
I don't think he does. Here's why. One, I think they could have brought him back by now if they wanted him. Two, they gave his number away. There's some kid on the team, some undrafted free agent named Fields, wearing number 25. So if they wanted him back, I think they'd be holding it for him. Maybe they could get Fields to change his number at any time. But I noticed that. I was like, he just gave it away, I don't think he's coming back.
The thing is, I don't think he's going to come back to the league at all. I think he's going to do something else, but he's holding to himself, because people say he's going to come back to Seattle. And I think he may not, by the way that he came out of the team. Like, he practically
burned that bridge.
Yes. So I think that doesn't happen, especially if you're Richard Sherman. You don't come back to the bridge that you burned.
Yeah. So, also, I think he's really slow now. He was always kind of slow, but he's had all these injuries, and he's my age. And I don't think he can run fast enough to play corner. Maybe he can move to safety, but it's a little late. I don't know. I think you're right. I think he might be done.
I think that's his calling to himself. We don't know. We are speculating. And yes, Mexican president of Jimmy G defensive squad.
Let me ask you real quick. If you were Richard Sherman's agent, he's his own agent. But if you were his agent, what would you recommend, that he just retire and focus on media, or would you say give it one more shot in football?
that will depend on what he wants. If he wants to a winning team, and be the captain and all that, I would recommend retire because he's not in condition to put conditions on teams based on his playing.
Yes, fair. Tell me if you agree with this. It's a bad sign that Robert Saleh and the Jets didn't want him.
Yes.
It's a bad sign. They had cap space. He coached Richard Sherman. He could bring him in as kind of like the coach on the field who instills a culture and shows them how to be pro. No, don't want you. That's a bad sign.
Yeah, I thought it's a bad sign mostly because Sherman was campaigning for him to be head coach. He was you have to hire this guy. He's really good. He's great. He's going to reach your team. And when you're a free agent and that call doesn't happen, it seems like something's there. I don't know why, but something's there.
Yeah, the only person who campaigned harder for Robert Saleh than Richard Sherman was me. And I didn't get a job with the Jets either. That's kind of messed up. Saleh, you just left me and Richard Sherman hanging like that. Who gets a job in the NFL sooner, me or Richard Sherman?
You, my friend.
No, probably Sherman. All right. Hey, great call. Is there anything else you want to say? You got this.
That we're friends now.
What's that?
That's right. We're friends now. That even people yesterday were like, "Don't you hate Grant?" And I was like, "I don't hate him. I hate his takes." And I told you directly.
I showed my wife that DM. The DM, it was, "Hey Grant, I hate some of your takes, but you're a nice guy too." That was the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Thank you. My wife was flattered too.
I mean, like people, it's like, but you hate. Sometimes you are like, "Oh, he's an idiot." I'm like, no, his takes are an idiotic sometimes, but he's a nice guy.
That's what my friend said to me. I was leaving the bar at 1 a.m. He's like, "Man, you got to call me more often, man, because your takes are awful." I was like, "Well, thanks, man. I'm definitely hitting you up more."
Yeah, I mean, I say, I understand your job, but it's like, I'm not going to take it personal because I'm not playing. They don't take it personal, so why should I? So.
Also, if you ever feel I've taken it too far, you're always welcome to come on the show and tell me, because that's what Vish does most of the time. He's like, "Grant, you're crazy. Let's dial it back." I'm like, "All right, Vish, you're right." So you're always welcome to come on. Great stuff. You're much more calm today. See, you're a pro. It takes one time. You got it.
Yeah, I'm more relaxed right now.
Very good. I mean, I couldn't do this. I don't know 2 languages. The fact that you're coming on your second language is very impressive. Courageous. You did a great job. Hell of a job.
Yeah.
Hell of a job.
Thanks.
Of course.
I mean, practice makes perfect.
Of course. Absolutely. We're just talking. All right. So you're always welcome. I'll see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. She's a pro already. It's amazing how people improve so quickly on this show. All right. It's Shardol time. Let me get everything ready for Shardol. Luis says next show, Cohn tour, starring in Wales with Gavin. Then you can come down to Mexico. Yeah, absolutely. Cohn all over the world. All right. Shardol, you ready? You ready?
Yeah.
What's up? How you doing?
What's up, dude? I'm ready.
Hey, just turn me down a little bit. You got it. Oh, he'll be back. He'll be back. Hold on. False start on Shardol. 5 yards. Can run that back. False start on Shardol. Hold on. Let's give him 20 seconds. Hold on. What's up, Franklin? What's up, Isaac? What's up, Mugs and Roses? Barry, a baller, Ken Bone, Jaden, Michael Miller, Dylan, not your average sports kid, Korean 49er. Sorry to make you guys wait. I'll give Shardol 10 more seconds, and if he's not back, I'll just go to the next call and get Shardol later. Man. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, we'll come back to Shardol. All right, man. Yo, what's up?
Good. How are you?
Oh, wait, hold on. Shardol's back. I'm sorry. I'm
good,
sorry.
man.
Give me a second. All right, he's back. He's back. You're back.
Hey.
What's up? What's up?
So my first question is, what are your thoughts of the 49ers signing Justin Houston?
I wish they would. They haven't yet. They need to, and they can't until they get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. Is Jimmy your favorite player?
What?
Is Jimmy your favorite player?
I like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay, so who would you rather have, Justin Houston or Jimmy Garoppolo?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay, fair enough. Let's keep going. Hey, real
my
quick.
second question is
that you in the
49ers
Discord?
Trade for Dolphins cornerback JB and Howard.
Only if they get rid of Jimmy. He's expensive too. Very expensive. Let me ask you this: who would you rather have, Xavier Howard or Jimmy Garoppolo?
Xavier Howard,
Okay, why?
somebody different, because I've never seen him play.
He's intercepts a lot of passes. He's very good, but he's expensive. But okay, next question.
My third question is, what happens if Jimmy Garoppolo starts and wins in 2021?
Things get weird, Shardol. Things get weird because how do you bench a winning starting quarterback who's healthy? I think it's his job at that point, and Trey Lance gets put on. He's in the waiting room, like at the doctor's office. He's just sitting there.
And my fourth question is, should the 49ers sign David DeCastro?
I think he's going to retire, but if he doesn't, absolutely. But they might have to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo to get him. Who do you like better, David DeCastro or Jimmy Garoppolo?
I think I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, fair enough.
My fifth question is, what are your thoughts of Kendrick Bourne signing with the Patriots? And do you
Loss.
think that was a great move for him?
It was a good move for him. He got a big signing at like $20-30 million. He's going to start for them. But you know what? The Niners were right to let him go. And as I said at the beginning, it's an opportunity for them to get the ball to use check and Dwelly more. So good for him. Good. It's okay for the 49ers. They'll be okay.
I think that was great. He's on a new team now.
You happy for him?
I'm happy for him.
You should write to him on Twitter. Tell him congratulations.
Yeah.
He'd appreciate it.
And my sixth question is, how many more years do you think Jimmy Garoppolo will stay with on the Niners?
Oof. Shardol, I don't think he's going to be on this team past this year. This year's the last one, I would think. He could be gone before the year starts. How does that make you feel?
Thoughts of Jalen Hurd, and what do you think is going to have a big impact on the Niners as in the quarterback position?
No, he's a wide receiver.
Oh, wide
Jalen
receiver?
Hurd. Remember the other Hurd? Hurts. He's a quarterback.
Yeah.
Remember the guy
Hurts.
over in Philly? I get those two confused, and I get the Jeffersons confused. But Hurd, he gets hurt all the time. They should change his name to Jalen Hurd.
So do you think he's going to have a big impact in the
If he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy.
Position?
But I'm changing the name from Jalen Hurd to Jalen Hurt because he's always hurt.
Oh,
sorry.
Because Hurts is the quarterback, not
Hurts is the quarterback.
Is the wide receiver.
Hurd is the wide receiver, but now his name is
Hurts
Jalen
is
Hurd.
the quarterback, right?
Hurts is the quarterback. Yeah. He's in Philly.
Oh,
his backup is Nick Mullins. Sorry.
Should the 49ers bring back Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., and Jerick McKinnon?
Oh, not Jerick McKinnon. Mostert and Wilson are still on the team, but they'll be free agents next year. Probably can't re-sign him.
And my ninth question, what are the thoughts of Kerry Hyder Jr.?
Pardon?
Signing with the Seattle Seahawks.
My thoughts?
Yeah, what are your thoughts about that?
He's a really good player. They lost a lot of sacks, but I think they were right to sign Samson Ebukam instead of him. I think Samson's better. These are really tough questions, but I'm hanging in there. You're grilling me. But I like him.
Is the 49ers offense O-line underrated or overrated?
Let's say underrated because they took so much criticism last year and they quietly have improved this year with Alex Mack and Aaron Banks. Underrated.
Which 49ers player has impressed you the most? When you look at the whole roster, which player has this guy, I really love this player and he's really put up some big numbers for the team?
I would have to say that's a great question. Trent Williams. He's so impressive. Watching him play, he's fantastic. Trent Williams.
If Jimmy Garoppolo was to retire for the 49ers, which team would be the best fit for him?
That's a good question. I'm serious. I think any team that believes in him, he needs somewhere to go somewhere with a coach that believes in him. So New England, if he could go back there, New England. Bill Belichick seems to really like him.
If you looked at any over the roster, do you know who in 2021, who do you think the most impressive player you think in your mind would be?
This year? Trey Lance. Trey Lance. Let's not mess around. The kid. I'm going with the kid.
How many questions have I asked so far?
I don't know. I lost count. Keep going.
I think 12.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, 13. When looking at the schedule, which games are you most excited to watch?
Oh, I'm excited to watch that game against the Packers week 3. and I'm always excited. I'm excited to see the Niners play the Cardinals this year. I think it's going to be the Niners and Cardinals, the two best teams in the division.
Which
And the Cardinals beat the Niners week 1 last year. I'm curious to see.
Which free agents are you looking forward for the Niners to sign in 2021?
Ooh, Justin Houston. I want him to sign Justin Houston, and I want him to re-sign Fred Warner as soon as possible.
My 14th question is what do you like about Justin Houston? Like, what do you like about him that just as a football player?
Consistent
His qualities.
Consistent. He'll get you 9 sacks every year. He's had about 97 in his career. He's a Hall of Fame player. He's only 32 years old. He stays healthy. He's hella good. Hella good. Sorry. Pardon my French. Got excited.
I'm thinking about other questions. Do you have any other questions that you can that I could ask you?
I think you really covered a lot of ground. A lot of ground. This was a very ambitious interview, and you handled it well. I'm just trying to keep up. I want to say I saw you in the Discord. Good job. Good to see you, man. You came in. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
It was you, right?
Yeah.
No? The Discord server?
You can ask me some questions now.
Are you in the Discord server?
Yeah, I'm in the
Yes.
Discord server.
You are?
Yes.
When did you jump in?
One of the people, Josh Mangold.
There you go. There
he
you
sent
go.
me to
There you
join
go.
the Discord.
Well, I seen you last night. I was out. I didn't get to chat with you, but everyone's very excited that you're in there, man. I think it's a good place for you too. It's a very, it's just, it's the people it's the people that come on the show and write and stuff. So it's a little community. And you're Shardol, man. You're one of the goats. So
I made a
good to see you
friend on the Discord.
Who?
Bay Area Baller 18.
Oh yeah,
We're
that's
gonna
right.
be going to Great America.
Oh, nice. That's cool, man. That's cool.
That'll be
Did
the
you tell
first
him
time
that?
everybody
Did you
in
tell him that
Great
you're
America
snazzier
when
than
they
him,
see
though?
Bay Area Baller 18.
Did you tell him that you're
With
snazzier
me.
than him?
Then they'll see that I'm with the person on the Cohn phone. Everybody will be wanting to get autographs from Bay Area Baller 18.
Have you ever given an autograph yet?
No, but if they see Bay Area Baller 18, then they'll be like, this guy's on the Cohn phone. Who would... If I'm with Bay Area Baller 18 at Great America, who would not know who Bay Area Baller 18 is?
That is true.
Real name is Eric Price. His Twitter handle is Bay Area Baller 18.
What's up, Shardol?
I'm
Hey,
gonna go to
Shardol.
Great America with you.
Going down. Hey, Shardol, I got one question though. Are there any
What?
ride restrictions? Are we going on all the rides?
All the rides.
We're going on all the rides. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was just making sure. I'm fired up.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you. There's a little echo, man.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I can't wait. All the rides with Bay Area Baller 18.
All right, man. There's a little bit of an echo. Will you turn it down? All right, man. Okay. Look, you always steal the show. It's always great to have you. I wish I could have you for longer, but I got to take some more calls. But have a great day, all right? And let me
No, I'm
know
gonna
how
go.
it goes.
We're planning sometime in end of July.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let me know.
I'm gonna
All
let
right.
you know how it was with me and Bay Area Baller 18.
Can't wait to hear it, man. I'll see you in the Discord server.
Okay, see you.
All right. Take care.
See ya.
See ya. That was great. That was fantastic. All right. That was great.
It just keeps getting better and better with Shardol and you. I can't have to follow up.
I love how happy and confident he is when he comes on the show. It's great.
Yeah, I agree.
I love that. Yeah.
Start off with two team-related questions.
Yes.
Why do you think that Kyle is not emphasizing more classroom work with the team before going into actual OTAs and training camp?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it a lot, but I feel like most coaches I don't know, man. Like, he just seems like more of a play designer than a coach. A lot of coaches I've met are like inherently teachers. They have a teacher mentality. And what they like to do more than anything is teach the little tiny techniques of playing little positions. I don't think Kyle's that interested in those details, or that's his expertise. He's really into designing the play, installing the play, and watching players compete. That's probably the most exciting stuff too, but that might be a reason.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
with D'Amico Ryans taking over as the defensive coordinator, do you see more multiple look fronts to...
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, He's a linebacker. They have this James Betcher guy is going to be kind of the creative control guy in the back. He was working underneath Todd Bowles for a while, and Todd Bowles is like the pressure master. So, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Yeah.
And one last football-related point. I read that Aaron Rodgers can opt out for 2021 and still get paid because there was a letter sent last year based with the NFL and NFLPA about the pandemic. I can't remember where I saw it, but I believe he will get a good portion of his money, or if not all.
Jeez.
So,
well, not surprised that he would take all the money he can and give, what he's going to do is just take all this money and then blame the Packers that he only won one Super Bowl when really he's culpable. Aaron Rodgers, go away. I'm so tired of him.
I thought they were good when that season when they went 15-1 after the Super Bowl, 2011, I believe, when they only lost to Kansas City. Yeah. I was thinking that they were going to repeat, but it ended up not happening. So I was kind of surprised about that. But
my thing with Aaron Rodgers, he's like him and Kevin Durant are the two most miserable superstars I've ever seen. What are they mad about? They always have a frown on their face. They always seem upset, and they always act like someone didn't give them enough respect. Or it's like, I don't know. I don't like their whole attitude. I don't know what it is. Durant and Rodgers seem like they got a lot in common.
Yeah, I think Kyrie Irving is kind of in that category too. He's a smart guy, and he's a little different, but
yeah, he's a little different. Yeah.
So one last point to you, Grant. If you please take that last week of July off. We could always.
I'm going to. We're planning it. We're gonna go. I think we're gonna go to Austin, Santa Fe. We're figuring it out. So I'll let you know. But I will. I promise. I need it. I can't burn myself out before the season starts. I got to bring my A game.
Yep. So do that and relax and just do that Mondo Cohn phone before you.
That's right. I'll do like a 4-hour Cohn phone, and that'll be enough. All right, man.
All right. Thank you, sir.
See you. Of course. All right, we got a couple questions. Daniel says, Barry, Baller, and Shardol need to do a YouTube video blog from Great America. Oh, yeah. That would get 100,000 views in like 2 hours. Robert Whitaker says, you got Trey starting week 1. Your pops has Jimmy. I'm going with they both will play week 1. Trey coming in Wildcat style, willing to bet a 40-ounce. Hell is not a bad word, BT Dub. All right, well, if you want to bet a 40, we can always bet a 40. What are we betting? Mickey's here. What are we betting? I don't know. I haven't had a 40 in a long time. Got to say that. Probably not looking forward to drinking a 40. That's a lot of carbs. It's too many calories, man. I can't be drinking them 40s. We could bet it, though. Oh, wait, hold on. We got another one real quick. Help me answer this question. Trevor says, how come no one mentions Fred Warner has never missed a game, never been injured playing for the 49ers? We talk about that all the time. What do you mean? That's why he's going to get so much money. Sorry, Trevor. We try to talk about it. All right, man. What's up?
All right, so I got 2 things. I know you said 2 max.
Two's cool.
So I'll do who I think is going to be the most underrated player last.
All right. Okay.
So in the Discord, we were talking about how Trey Lance's legs can really like change the dynamic of this offense, and I was like, I was watching the Ben Meyerson was doing a Deebo Samuel film breakdown, and during the breakdown, there was a play. It's usually called motion HB swing pass. Mm-hmm. It's where they have 2 running backs in the backfield. One of the running backs is going to go out for a swing pass. The other one is going to go for a handoff. You're either going to hand the ball off or you're going to throw it to the guy on the swing pass.
Makes sense. So, and they do like that with Deebo too, right?
Yeah, so you could have Deebo on the left side.
Yep.
Or, Sherman on the right. Have Deebo go out for the swing.
Yep.
Fake it to Sherman.
And then Lance keeps it.
Because when I watched it, I really saw the play break down.
Yes.
Samson, it was against the Rams. Samson Ebukam was there. He was like trying to play like a little bit of contain because he knew that, but it was Nick Mullins there. And, nobody's really seen how well Trey Lance can run exactly because, we've seen him in college, but he hasn't proved himself yet. So that guy's like, there's a guy over there. So he faked it over there. So he's definitely going to the running back. Mm-hmm. If that linebacker is gone, or if, say, Trey Lance can outrun him, there was a safety on that hash mark about 20 yards up the field. So Trey Lance would have at least gotten 10 to 15 yards off of that.
Yep.
A play like that can destroy defenses if Kyle can use it to him correctly. Now, if Kyle's just going to make, Trey Lance be, a very stationary pocket passer, that's fine. But you got to have a little bit of running in there. I'm not saying he's got to be like Lamar Jackson or something where you're designing running plays all the time. But
Right.
like play right there, you got 3 options. One, Deebo, who is insane.
Great.
Behind the line of scrimmage, Mostert or Sherman, who can take off insane running backs, and then you have to worry about Trey Lance's running abilities. What are you gonna do? So I feel like you can hand the ball off there. If that linebacker's playing contain, you can hand the ball off, and you're probably gonna get a couple extra yards. So you never know what Trey Lance can bring to this offense. And secondly, my underrated player, I think I gotta go with him because. Me and Amin were having a discussion. And
real quick, before we go to the underrated, let's stick with that last topic because I really like it. You're right. They don't have to run Trey Lance a ton. But you take that play, which is so successful, of just Deebo Samuel and in the flat and Trey Sermon up the gut. That's a lot. That's a lot to handle right there. Now you add a third thing, and it's Trey Lance, who might be the most athletic of the 3. And he just his presence, just the fact that you have to account for him, will make Trey Sermon and Deebo Samuel more effective on that play. Yes, you're absolutely right. This is a very interesting topic. All right, let's go to the and he doesn't even have to keep it that much. If he keeps it once, that's enough for the defense to. It could be a first down. It could be a touchdown. It could be the game deciding play, and the defense is waiting for it, anticipating it, defending it. It opens it. It opens up the rest of the play for other people. It's much more dangerous with him doing it than with Jimmy Garoppolo or Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard. Good call.
Yeah, the weird thing was that the linebacker was playing contain on Nick Mullins. Like, it was Samson Ebukam. Why were you doing that against Nick Mullins? Like, he's not the running type.
Good question. I'll ask him.
As I was saying, Amin and me were having a discussion, and it was with, like, Josh Mangold and Chase Pine were in there. It was in the Discord server. Amin loves trashing Deebo. He thinks it's so funny because he's like, he knows I love Deebo, so he always trashes him. And I brought up this list of stats, and Chase Pine and Josh Mangold were like, dang, like, wow, that's like crazy.
Dang.
They're like, how? Like, you don't see it. So people say Deebo can't catch. He is a, just a gadget player. Doesn't have the best hands. Right. Every time he gets the ball in contested positions, he's caught it. In 2019, he has had 3 throws that were contested, like tough catches to catch, and he caught all 3 of them. And then in 2019, he had 12 targets that were really contested. About 60% was caught, and most of them, I saw him barely he had a chance to get. Like they skimmed his fingers or something, went off the top of his fingers. And then you go to the snap shares. His snap share has just gone down and down ever since 2019. It's like a book. It starts off steady, goes up, and then crashes and burns. Like climax, and then just dips down.
Okay.
And then I think Deebo's only got 2 red zone targets.
Yep.
One of them was a touchdown. One of them was for a couple yards. So why wouldn't you give the guy who 50% on touchdowns in the red zone the ball more?
Good call.
And then I need to find this. There's one. It says I'll remember it. It's average yards per catch. How long is the average throw? 2 yards. His average throw is 2 yards. So the ball leaves goes 2 yards when they throw it. So he has to do. You got to think, how many catches does he have? So he's got about. How many catches does he have? He's got 33. So you have to take 66 yards off of his run total or his yard total, and then that's how many he earns. Brandon Aiyuk and players like that, you're going to see their how much they earn is about half to a little bit less. Because they get a lot of their air yards is technically where they get a bunch of their yards. They're going to get the catch, which counts and stuff. But, so he has an 81% catch ratio. So 81% of the time it hits his hands. 81% of the time he's targeted, it hits his hands. He has 33 receptions, so 66 yards off of 391 catching yards. So that is 320 something yards, and 300 and something were off of how much he's caught it. His yards after the catch is 389.
Dang. That makes me say, dang. Hey, man, we're going up against the 5-minute rule. Do you want to wrap up your Deebo Samuel point? Because you just made me say, dang, which is the goal.
I'm good.
All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in. You certainly are not your average sports kid. I'll say that.
Thank you.
Have a good one, man. Great stuff. The Deebo Samuel expert. He made a good case. You could say Deebo Samuel's limited, or you could say they limit the way he's used. That's a good argument, man. Smart kid. Been waiting. The thing that was different about the 87-89 running game is Craig and Rathman played at Nebraska together. In the 90s, we're a running double fullback set. Keep it going. I'm a fan. Yeah. Kyle's got this whole, he's got the whole old school setup. Why not? They ran a double fullback set. Dang, double full. Yeah, because Craig was like a fullback at first. Was he not? So I'm just saying. What's up?
What's up, Grant?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm fired up. No one's invited me to Great America within the last 10 to 15 years. So when Shardol hit me up, it's immediately, let's go.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, that's great, man. Have a great time. Grizzly's fun.
Thank you.
Top Gun, they changed the name, but it's still the best. That's a great one.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, but Grant, today I want to talk about what 49ers fans need to do when you go to a game at Levi Stadium.
Yes.
Okay. But before I tell you that, I got one issue with Levi Stadium. And when Levi's was being built, there was a stadium in Seattle that had a reputation of being a tough place to play, right? They got a lot of noise, and the way that stadium keeps it in, I'm thinking now we're building a stadium. Why would you not replicate some of these aspects that give the team a competitive advantage?
Right. Yeah.
So that was the thing that frustrated me. Why is it so open that it's all the sound, maybe not all the sound, but a lot of the sound escapes.
Yeah, as opposed to reverberating, which it does in Seattle.
Yeah, and Paul Griesmer, who designed that stadium in Seattle, said making crowd noise a factor was taken into consideration when they were building it. Smart. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the one thing that I don't like about Levi's.
It's like Jed York designed Levi's himself. He was like, look what I designed.
It's white. I'm trying to win football games. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
That should be the top agenda. And how do you do that? Well, additional crowd noise so the offense can't hear, they can't communicate. That helps out a lot.
It certainly does.
Yeah. But I want to tell you what I like to do when I go to Levi's, right? You got to check out the food spots. They got some good food in there. I hit up Guy Fieri's chicken sandwich place. It's on the top level. That's my spot. I went to 4 games in 2019. The Browns, where Breida busted that run to start the game. I think it was a Monday night game. Breida popped it off.
Yep.
And then I went to the Packers, Rams, and then the Viking playoff game. I got chicken sandwiches every time. You got to scope out the food, right? And but not only that, most importantly, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to let the fans know when you go to a game, you got to make noise when the opposing team has the football. When they're in the huddle, right? When they're at the line of scrimmage, come up, get creative, come up with some chants. Let's go defense. Something like that. Right, you got to make noise so they can't communicate. All right, we need to
fandom 101 here.
We need to increase our crowd noise because I feel when I go to the games, Grant, I'm the loudest guy in the section every time. So we need other guys to pick it up a little bit.
What are you yelling about? They're playing football.
Yeah, that's not how it works. And I was only.
Do you remember back at Candlestick when Harbaugh was the coach? They used to have a sign on the big board that says "Quiet, please, offense at work." They had to remind the fans not to cheer when the offense was on the field. That was so condescending. It's you guys don't know anything about football, so let me teach you.
That's another point. Yes, when we have the ball, you don't want to be too loud until we get a first down. Grant, I want to hear it from you. Kyle Juszczyk with a 49ers first down.
Dude, that one noise that they make is so annoying when they go, hoo, hoo, is so annoying.
That was exactly what I wanted you to do right there. You did it. So that was,
yeah. They did that last year. It's like, man, there's no one in the stands. Let it go.
But you know what? You need some of that. I like it. And I had to look up why we do that after the first down. And it's from the movie 300, which I haven't even seen. But it's apparently from that.
I snuck in. I didn't sneak in, but I talked my way in when I was 18. Premiere. I was a freshman at UCLA. My buddy was like, "You want to go to the premiere of 300?" I was like, "Yes." He was like, "All right, let's just make some T-shirts with the catchphrase of the movie on it." We did it. We walked up. They're like, "That's so cute. You guys want to come in?" We're like, "Yes." And the most famous person there, the person that all the celebrities were trying to talk to, he had a mob like 10 people deep. Terry Crews. 2006. He was the most popular person there. To explain why he was in every movie. People love Terry Crews in Hollywood. People love Terry Crews.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I was just watching the Adam Sandler movie with Terry Crews in it.
He was the best part of White Chicks. And White Chicks is a great movie.
I agree. I
got to take the next call, man. But have a great time at Great America. And
absolutely.
I'll see you in the Discord server.
Yeah. I got to tell you my underrated player just real quick.
Tell me. Tell me.
I got to make sure he gets mentioned. And it's Jaquaski Tart. Because when he's not on the field, the defense is not the same. Marcel Harris comes in, Jared Cook's running right by him, and I know that doesn't happen when Tart's on the field. So shout out to Tart.
Shout out Tart. You're right. Good call. I'm glad someone brought him up. Great to see you, man. All right. Kenneth. How are you, Ken?
Hey, man. Not too bad. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What's on your mind? I can. I certainly can.
Most underrated player, Jimmy Ward. Right? I love Jimmy Ward. I think he's great. He's one of the best tacklers that we got, and plays within the system. Right? That guy could be a ball hawk anywhere. Right? But he knows the system, and he sacrifices his stats to play within the system. So that's mine.
Certainly does.
I think he's got great personality too. Right? He's awesome. Right?
I like that one. That's a good call. He's really played well the last couple of years. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So missed opportunities. If we look at what's going on in the NFC right now, right? With Aaron Rodgers, which is an absolute dumpster fire, right? Dissension between Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. Dak Prescott coming back off an injury. We don't know how he's going to play. Andy Dalton with the Bears. A lot of organizations that have had very good structure for a really long time are really out of sorts as they normally wouldn't be. The only one that we really have to worry about is Tampa. Question is Tampa worrying about us? Right? Which I don't think they are. We don't have enough depth pieces.
Yeah. Jimmy's still here.
And that's the problem that worries me. And I've been listening all week about you talking about Jimmy. And I think there's pros and cons to it. Having Jimmy start, having Jimmy on the team, a veteran presence, somebody that's been around. He has 2 Super Bowl rings with another team. He was with another one with us. But when you look at how he manages the offense, there's some glaring things that really make me worry. Like we were playing Seattle and Jadeveon Clowney was all over him in 2019. And you saw how gun shy he was. His confidence level is gone.
And I think in 2017, when he went on that 5-game win streak, wasn't his most striking quality his confidence. It was like, wow, who does this guy think he is? He's playing like he thinks he's Aaron Rodgers. He's not, but he thinks he is now. He plays like he thinks he's Jared Goff.
His confidence is shot. I think this needs to be a split for both parties, right? We have it's just better that way, right? He send him to Miami, right? Rumor is that Tua is not practicing very well, right?
He's not
a lot
good.
of reports come. No, and Jimmy's way better than he is, and There's connections with the head coach there.
True.
Right? From being with the Patriots. So whether you release them or trade them, there's a couple of names out there. You've already brought them up. Melvin Ingram, Justin Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to throw a couple out there that nobody's even talking about. Everybody wants J.C. Jackson. That'll never happen. Stephon Gilmore, he's holding out. He wants a contract extension. That's
True.
never happening. Right? Why would you trade for guys when there's guys on the market right now that are studs that we could just pick up? Steven Nelson.
Yes.
Steven Nelson.
Yes.
Right? Trey Boston.
Yes.
Right? Both those were cap casualty hits. And
Yes.
both of them are studs. You put those pieces in, and you add them with, say, even one, a Justin Houston. I like Justin Houston more than Melvin Ingram just because of the veteran presence. You could probably get him on a cheaper deal because of the simple fact that he's getting later on in his career and we're trying to make a Super Bowl run. Right now is the time that we want to make that Super Bowl run because a lot of other franchises are really apart at the seams. Right? Even if Aaron Rodgers goes back to Green Bay.
Open. It's wide freaking open. The only team that's definitely better than the Niners in the NFC has a quarterback who's 75 years old. So it's wide open.
Yeah.
He doesn't play like he's 75, but he may at one point. One day he will.
Absolutely.
So
if Aaron Rodgers even goes back to Green Bay, that franchise is split. Players are going to be on the management side. Players are going to be on Aaron Rodgers' side, and there's going to be a split right down that locker room. So we need to take advantage of this now. The other thing about bolstering the secondary, the big thing about that is you look at what's happening with the teams that do have that organization and they do have their ducks in a row, right? We have to play the Rams twice a year. And Sean McVay, who is a very, very good offensive mind, is losing his marbles about how good Matthew Stafford is.
Well, he's a
we
big
play them
upgrade
twice
over
a year. Right? Kyler Murray with all those guys they put down in Arizona. I'm with you. I think Arizona is a sleeper in the NFC. I think we have big problems with them. Kyler Murray is more than a handful. And if anybody thinks that J.J. Watt is washed up, they're crazy. That guy is 2 years removed from having 16 sacks. That guy's
he's
dangerous.
Cheap. He's so cheap. And he's playing next to Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
Chill.
Chandler Jones.
Chill.
Like,
be careful.
Yep. Like that whole team.
The roster
really
is loaded. They have Budda Baker on their defense. They have 2 first-round picks at inside linebacker. They have Marcus Golden. They have Jordan Phillips. They have AJ Green. They have a really good team.
Yeah.
If their coach isn't totally terrible, they're right there with the Niners, and they might even be ahead of the Niners until
Hopkins.
Man. I gotta enforce the 5-minute rule on you though. But this is one of your best calls. You came out really hard. Came out swinging. I know you could talk about this for a while, and you have a lot to say, but I appreciate you.
All right, brother.
All right, take care, Ken. I'll see you next time.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, Jaden. I'm gonna skip you, but I'm gonna come back. I just want to hit a couple of people that didn't call in yesterday. But Jaden, I'm coming back to you. Don't worry. You're my guy. But I gotta get Michael first because Michael only calls in on Sundays, and he's in Virginia, and it's like 2 in the afternoon. What's up, man? You look nonplussed.
Most underrated player on the team.
Tell me.
Trey Lance. And you want to know why?
I do.
Because he's working in Southern California right now with Deebo Samuels and Mohamed Sanu. That's underrated.
I love that. It started off with him working out with Sanu. Now he's recruiting Deebo Samuel. It seems like he's leading this team.
Plus, he worked out with the other wide receiver earlier on the season. I don't know why I'm brain dead.
Jordan Matthews?
Not Jordan Matthews. No.
Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk
at
Exos or wherever it was. Yes.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you about Trey Lance that he's
a leader.
doing this right now?
He's a leader of the team.
Absolutely.
Jimmy G has never did this. He doesn't know how to do this.
I think Jimmy did do something like this last year. I'm not sure, but he's not doing it now. It's over. It seems to me like if Jimmy ever had.
I don't think he did it last year.
Was it not him in Nashville? I don't know.
No. None of them worked out.
Oh, he might have done one at like San Jose State. I think he might have done one at like San Jose State, like for a minute. Anyway, if he didn't, he's not doing it now. That's what I keep noticing. Is like there's all these every week. Trey Lance did this. Trey Lance got this guy to come. Trey Lance and the 49ers are over here. Where is Jimmy? What does he want to do? Is he competing? Is he competing or what?
He's not competing.
It sounds
the
like
problem is we're only a month and a half away from preseason.
That's right.
And he ain't doing nothing. But yet our rookie is being a leader. He's getting people together. He's working out. He's going to take the job from him, and Jimmy G's going to wake up without a job.
Do you think Jimmy's just kind of waiting to get moved?
I mean,
so. He didn't return last year like everyone else did for the last couple of games. He practiced. He looked like pretty good in practice.
Well, he gave up on the team, and that's
seems
according
like
to Kyle last year.
It seems like it, right?
He could have came back and played. I mean, our tight end came back and played, and it was meaningless, but he still showed up and played. Jimmy didn't want to come out of the booth doing his little etch-a-sketches up there. He just didn't want to come out and play. I mean,
it seems like he wants the change of scenery. It is. It seems like he wants out.
There's several teams that need a quarterback too. You got Washington, you got Green Bay now. If what's his name don't come back, Miami ain't looking good. Be nice to get our 2 first-round picks back for Jimmy if they get.
If Jimmy wanted this job, he would be organizing these workouts and saying, "Look, Deebo, look, Sanu. I know you guys want to get to know the kid, but I'm the quarterback of this team. You're coming to my camp, and you know what, Trey, you're coming to my camp too. As long as we're still on the team together, I have seniority, and you will not organize camps to undermine me. I'm organizing this, and the fact that he doesn't seem to want to just seems like he's kind of capitulating. Like, hey, Trey, if you want to take this job, go for it. I don't want to be here anymore.
I mean, he played all the way from Tennessee to Southern California, and where's the next one before mini camp or camp starts?
That's why I don't think people are reading the situation that well. I mean, it's not like Kaepernick in 2011. There was no offseason that year. This year, he's had the spring training to learn the offense. He's done all this extracurricular stuff in between. He's taking the job.
And he's picked the offense up, according to everybody. He's picked the offense up and ran with it.
That's a good answer. I think he's the most underrated people. And you know why he's underrated? Because Niner fans haven't seen him yet, and they do love Jimmy Garoppolo because he reinvigorated the franchise, give him credit. Yeah. But once they see Trey Lance, he's not going to be underrated anymore.
One more question.
Sure.
When they go to West Virginia at the Greenbrier to practice, when they're on a road trip here, do you travel with them and go to the things like that or not?
I could, but I would basically have to fund myself and write it off, and I don't know if I want to do it. I probably won't. Why? You're going to be – it's out by you, right?
Oh, yeah. I've got tickets on the way already.
Since I got to fund myself and write it
where they practice at, I was born at the hospital at the Greenbrier Hotel where they are going to be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's my home where they practice at.
That's cool.
I've been by that field they're going to be on 100,000 times.
How far away is it from where you are right now?
3 hours and a half.
Nice.
Yeah.
You should go.
Plus, I've got all my aunts, uncles, everybody lives right there. So
maybe I can get you a press pass. You can cover it for me.
If you could do it, I mean,
if only I could, right?
For you. We could go live on the phone and whatever you want.
Dude, look at your eyes light up, man. I wish I could get press passes.
I would do that in a heartbeat. Autograph.
See you, Michael.
So, yep.
Great call. Take care. Hold on. I'm trying to get some people in that didn't call in yesterday. Franklin. How you doing, Franklin?
Hey, Grant. I'm all right, Joe.
Great. Always a pleasure to see
you. Yeah.
What's on?
So, when it comes to the most underrated player on the 49ers, I'm going to stick to my favorite side of the field, defense. I actually had 2 players.
Okay.
One of them was already taken, and it was Jimmy Ward.
Okay. Who's the other one?
So Jimmy Ward is I'm sorry. The other one is Emmanuel Mosley.
There you go. Why?
Because remember in 2019, the game against the Vikings where Emmanuel Mosley shut down Stephon Diggs?
He did. He absolutely did. And in Emmanuel Mosley's first start ever, this was right after Kella Witherspoon got hurt, the Niners had to play Cleveland on Monday Night Football. A lot of people picked Cleveland to win that game. specifically because Mosley was playing and he had to cover Odell Beckham Jr. How was he going to do it?
Oh my God.
He did it
That was
in his first start ever.
Shut him down. He shut
Yes.
Odell Beckham Jr. down. Odell only had like a handful of catches. Odell got shut down.
And so real quick, the thing about Mosley, he took a step back last year, mostly against DeAndre Hopkins and DK Metcalf, two of the best wide receivers in the league, two big wide receivers who are tough matchups for Emmanuel Mosley, who's a little smaller as a corner. Other than that, he's a solid corner. And as someone made the point, I forget who it was, he didn't get many starters reps in the offseason last year. There was no OTAs and stuff. And then when training camp started, they wanted Sherman and Verrett to be the starters. So they kind of demoted him, and maybe that didn't help him out. Maybe this year, now that he's gotten the contract, he's getting all the first team reps, that he should be more consistent.
I think my honest opinion is I think he's going to be a lot better than when he was during that 2019 run. I think he's going to get a lot more reps. I think he's going to be more prepared than he ever was, and I think he's already training right now.
I think so. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. Yes. Yes. He still has a lot to prove, even though he got a contract. It's like a 1 year, 2 year deal. It's a 2 year deal that really is a 1 year deal, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you're right, man. I think he's going to be prepared. I think he's going to be motivated. He's a good, solid young player. I like that answer, man. Emmanuel Mosley, respect. Shout out. All right, Franklin. Have a good one, man.
When it comes to
go ahead. Finish up, please. Please.
Now, when it comes to Jimmy Ward, I'm sorry. Now, when it comes
to
Jimmy Ward, the crazy idea I had wanted to do during the 2019, when the 49ers were in the Super Bowl, what I had wanted to do, and I've only told my friends this idea, so it might come out as a little crazy, but my idea was to put Richard Sherman at that safety position and let Jimmy Ward play that corner spot. Let Jimmy Ward cover.
Interesting. He's certainly faster than Richard Sherman. It'd be interesting to actually play them at safety together. Play Sherman at free safety, let him read the field and intercept passes, and have Jimmy Ward at strong safety, closer to the line of scrimmage and coverage, blitzing, stuff like that. I wonder if Richard Sherman wants to play safety. He may not want to, but I think he could do it. It'd be interesting. I don't know if he wants to.
He doesn't want to, but
yeah. Eric Davis said he could do it.
Richard Sherman's skill set is to me, there's a reason why he only lines up on one side of the field, even if the number one receiver is on the opposite side.
Right. He has to be protected in certain ways. He has to play certain coverages. He has to be on the certain side of the field. Otherwise, he gets exposed. He can't run, Franklin.
Yeah, he does.
You're faster than Richard Sherman.
As much as I like Richard Sherman, I really do like him. I like him as a player coach. I don't really like him as a player. I used to when he was
time for him to be a coach. He's like 3 years younger than D'Amico Ryans, man. Go be a coach. We're old. He's 2 months younger than me.
I
old.
didn't even know that.
Hang it up. But Franklin, I gotta take some more calls, man. But it's always great to see you. Great call. Good stuff, dude. All right, take care. All right, I'm still trying to get people that didn't call in yesterday. Isaac, what's up, dude?
How's it going, Grant?
How you doing, man? Where you calling
I'm good. I had a kind of conspiracy theory for you.
I love those. First, where you calling from?
Santa Clara.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
you know you're right there.
Yeah. You know how we always talk about that offensive minds seem to have the best first weeks in football. Andy Reid, Sean Payton, they always come out firing on all cylinders week one, the whole offseason. But Kyle always falls flat.
That's true.
Every year.
Every year.
My thought process was, is this because we're too intense early on? Everyone has soft tissue injuries, misses half the offseason? Or he's having these way too short practices and they just aren't ready for the season when it begins?
Oh, that's a great point. Because I feel like one of the reasons you have 3-hour practices, the games are 3 hours.
Yeah.
The games are 3 hours. So you get a feel for standing around, being on the field, like the whole pace of the game.
Right.
But if you do everything in 90 minutes, that's great. It's very intense. You're going to get hurt. You could, or you could get really good, but it's half the game. That's very clever, man. Yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And I had one more thing.
But also, I think it's both of those things that you mentioned. The fact that the Niners come into the season, like limp into the season every year.
Exactly.
Every freaking year. They get themselves
right
hurt,
now.
they limp into the season.
Deebo, Aiyuk.
Dude,
and then we lost
week 2 of OTAs. A
Yeah.
PR guy came up to me before practice. He was like, "Okay, the following people are injured and won't be practicing." And it was like 18 people.
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., Richie James, Brandon Aiyuk. It's like, whoa, dude, it's OTAs. They're not even in pads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I have a story about a former player of the team, and I want to see if you can guess who it was.
Okay. Okay.
I'll give you one hint. He is a former wide receiver.
Dante Pettis.
My old coworker, she was the rep for a very expensive Cologne brand. The bottles were $300-$400 a piece.
Okay.
And guy came in, he had bought 4 or 5 different bottles from her over the years. And this was at the Nordstrom and Valley Fair, right across from Santana Row.
Okay.
He asked her out on a date. She said, okay, sure, we can go. When she gets off of work, he's waiting at that little driveway in front of Nordstrom in a stretched limo filled with roses just to take her to Santana Row at LB Steak.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, he rolled out the red carpet for her. What a gentleman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying
Any
this
guesses
dude was
on
a
who it
Niner?
was?
He was a wide receiver on the team for a good little bit?
At least 4 or 5 years.
Was it Crabtree?
It was Crabtree.
Oh, Crabtree! Hey, shout out Michael Crabtree. Who knew he was such a Casanova? Nice, dude.
Yeah.
I got it. Michael Crabtree
Good job.
was full of roses.
Full of roses. Full stretch limo.
Michael Crabtree has game. Nice.
Yeah.
All I remember is him and Colin Kaepernick and Frank Gore going to Hooters the night before the Super Bowl. I was thinking, geez, Crabtree, really? I can do that. So I'm glad Crabtree stepped it up.
Yeah.
It's a good story. Good story,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
Thanks for
Have a
calling.
good one, Grant.
See, only in Santa Clara would you hear things like this. Take care, man.
Yeah, you too.
I don't know why I knew it was Crabtree, but that was slick. That was really slick. I would have done that. How could a girl say no to that? What's up? How you doing, man?
My guy.
What's up, my guy? How you doing? Man, it looks nice in LA today, man.
Man, yeah, man. I'm probably about to go hoop. I was in your hood last night, right there at STK at the W in Westwood, right by UCLA.
That is a nice time.
That right there on Hill Garden. I want to say LeConte, either LeConte or Westwood.
That's my place that I stay when I go to LA. I stay.
Man, I thought about you when I got there, man.
What'd you get? Did you get the surf and turf? Did you get the whole? What'd you do?
No, my girl got the surf and turf. I got the bone-in ribeye, and they comped us a bottle of Prosecco.
They do stuff like that. We put up a
like,
bill that was
what?
crazy. It probably should have came to like $1,000, and they brought back like $300 in the tip. I was like,
yes.
What?
They comped
Thank
us a
you.
whole bottle.
They didn't charge us for like most of the alcohol. Hey, go to STK in Westwood.
Yes. Yeah, really, for
yes,
real.
absolutely.
Yeah, I thought
about
you when I got there. So it's my boy Grant.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Great service. Great service.
Man, yeah, I loved it. But as far as I got 2 underrated Niners. The first, first it used to be Jared Goff, but it used to be Goff. But honestly, all seriousness, I'm gonna say one of them is Jimmy G. Until Kyle Shanahan can put a winning season together without him, I gotta say he's still underrated. I'm not gonna lie.
Jimmy G somewhere watching the show like, thank you. Thank you.
If I could get Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, or Trey Lance, I'm praying that he balls out. I'll take any of them over Jimmy G. But until then, he's the best we got as of now so far. So I just gotta give him some respect because there's so much people bashing him. I got to give him something, only because we haven't had a winning season without him. So that's the only reason. And then the second one, I'm going to go Brandon Aiyuk, hands down, because he had, a 700, almost a 1,000-yard season with 3 different quarterbacks. I think that goes to one of the most underrated players in the league, not just on the team, but in the league, because I didn't expect him to be like that. I wanted CeeDee Lamb. And the fact that we got Brandon Aiyuk and he put up 700 with 3 different quarterbacks, I think that's just one of the most underrated in the whole league to me.
7 touchdowns too. He was really good last year.
Yeah, and he's only going to get better. You know, he's going to get a full training camp, and he has a season under his belt. And I think he didn't play the first week or two or something like that, and he still racked up 700 yards.
He only played 12 games.
Amazing.
He only played 12 games. That's
12 games out of 16 games. He played 12 and got almost 1,000 yards. So basically, we got 1,000-yard receiver, and I'm gonna go Jimmy G and Brandon Aiyuk. Yeah.
It's a good call, but I'm just really focused on your hat. I want that hat. I love that
the polo
hat. Love that.
I got it
Definitely
from Ralph Lauren, and I put they let us put right now. Ralph Lauren,
you just flex so hard on this show every time. I want to be in LA so bad wearing that hat, man. Respect. Enjoy yourself, man.
Yeah, all right. Good seeing you, Grant. Always good.
All right, man. Have a good one, man.
You too.
Stunting way too hard. Chewy, hold on. Let me get Chewy up in here. Jaden, Dylan, I haven't forgot about you. Stick with me. I'm just getting the people who didn't call in yesterday. I got to get Chewy and then Rad the ruler. Rad, pull over. You got to pull over. I can't talk to you when you're driving. So I'm going to get Chewy and then you're next, but pull over, all right? Chewy, what's up? What's up?
Grant, what's up,
Now
man?
I'm into the segment of the show of people that stunt really hard when they come on. You, King Giovanni, you guys have style and class. I appreciate it. Yes. Yes.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, Grant.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it. It's a new Father's Day hat. Y'all go check that out.
Hat looking good. You got the shirt looking good. You got the chain on right now. I mean, what else would I expect, though, from Chewy?
Well, you're going to get a hard take right now. This is a good take,
I want one.
Grant.
Give me one.
So we're talking about the most underrated players, right?
Yup.
Everybody's forgetting, like, our best fourth-round draft pick of all time, Mitch Wishnowsky. I mean, this guy has to be the most underrated player on the team.
Man, the way he kicks the ball, no one else could do that on the team. He's the only person who can punt the ball on the team. That's a very unique skill set. I'm
going to throw some stats out, Grant. We went from 44.9 average first season, 46.9. That's a 2-yard increase in one season.
Dang. He is better than Bradley Pinion, isn't he?
Look at, I mean,
although Bradley Pinion has a ring.
We'll throw out another stat, Grant. 23 punts inside 20 to 25 punts inside the 20.
Dang.
Can we smell 32 this year? I think it's going to 32 this year inside the 20.
Dang. Wishnowsky does certain things well. He can punt the ball very high in the air. He's got that. Yeah, he's got the hang time. His punts are like the Michael Jordan of punts. They hang up in the air so long. Right. Yeah, they're like windmill punts.
Let's talk about elite athleticism too. I mean, 6'2", 220.
Oh my God, he will lay you out. Especially if you look at him wrong. You look at him sideways, he's coming for you.
You remember that preseason game where he just lit that dude up?
Oh, I forget it. Top 5 moment in 49ers history, man.
Right. Do you know his 40 time?
4.2, 4.3. What is it?
Well, it looked like 4.3. You know, just how graceful.
Don't tell me he runs a 4.6. Don't tell me he runs a 4.6.
4.63.
Don't tell me he runs a 4.63. Man, I gotta apologize to Mitch Wishnowsky. This guy's a good athlete, man. Damn.
Man, we could just line him up at like strong safety, outside linebacker. We could put him anywhere on the field.
I think what we're learning here is that the Niners don't use Mitch Wishnowsky enough. He could be their Taysom Hill. But better because Taysom Hill can't do anything with his feet. I've never seen him kick a ball.
Right?
No.
Imagine this.
One today. I think this is the best call of the day. I think you're right. It's definitely Mitch.
Imagine this. 3rd and 5. We put Mitch Wishnowsky. We run a reverse, and then he punts it. You know.
Oh my
God! Instead of running
it, ultimate 3rd and 5 play. Like, why would you even try to go for it when you have Mitch Wishnowsky? I think it's great. I love it, man. Hey, we got a shot. We got to send this to Mitch. Mitch, your fan club. Good stuff, man. You had the numbers and everything ready? Hell of a call. I've never talked about Mitch Wishnowsky on my show. Have a good one, man.
All right, Grant. Take it easy, man.
You too, dude. Dang, I knew someone was going to bring up Mitch. All right, hold on. Let me get dude because he pulled over. I think he pulled over. He's walking around the streets. Yeah. Rhode Island?
What's going on, Grant? Yeah, my bad. I wasn't driving. My girl was driving.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. What's up?
But I got two for you. Obviously, everybody knows Shanahan's success has always been based around Jimmy G. He hasn't had any success without Jimmy G. So that's not even a low-key sleeper. That's a high-key sleeper. And then the other one is his father. 90% of what he's doing, his father has input on, and he's the one that's really behind the scenes pulling all the strings. We have yet to see Shanahan actually have any success without his father being in his ear. So to me, I would like to see if he could actually run things himself without his father being the guy in the shadows pulling the strings. Like, it's like a Cole and Powell situation. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't need to be the guy, but he's the guy pulling the strings. Like, that's what it's like.
I know, and people don't realize that he is that guy because he's not an official employee of the 49ers, but I think he wants it that way. Like, he doesn't need money. He doesn't want to be held accountable or fired. He just wants to hang out in Colorado and watch the tape and call his kid and tell him what to do. And I think he really has all the input he wants.
Exactly. And I think it's just more because his wife wanted him to retire from actually being in it. So he can officially be like, well, you know, I don't work for the team. I'm not getting paid, but that's believe he's still the one calling a lot of those plays.
Discussing every game plan with his son. Yeah. I would imagine that John Lynch probably looks at Mike Shanahan and is like, do you have more input on this team than I do?
You know what I'm saying? Know that they've had conversations like that. Like, so how much of the game plan did you actually come up with versus Kyle coming up with?
Or player evaluations. Let's say Mike Shanahan has a list of his top 10 wide receivers, and John Lynch has a list of his top 10 wide receivers in a draft. Whose list is going to get more weight with Kyle?
I mean,
who wanted Dante Pettis?
Because he's the one that's had the success. He's the one that had the success. My bad.
That's right. Yeah. And everyone's calling into the show with really nice chains today, man. I gotta set mine. I don't have any chains. I gotta go to the store.
Hey, man, you know, you gotta have a good luck charm every now and then, you know?
Hey, man. Good call. Thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah, man. You're
always welcome. All right, have a good one. Take care. All right, I'm trying to go through these. What's up, Josh?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. So I got two questions for you. And they're related to the subject of being underrated. And the first one has to do with you. I want to know, according to you, what is the most underrated part of your game? Because there are a lot of things that you do, I think, that people really appreciate. You do really well. But what would you say about yourself and what you do in your profession? What's the most underrated part about what you do?
Okay. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I feel like a lot of people.
I'm giving you the horn. So go ahead and toot it.
I feel like a lot of people give me, like, they don't like me, will give me begrudging respect. Like, hey, man, you got to give him credit. He puts out a lot of content. I would just like to say that I think my content's pretty good. And although sometimes I maybe rile you up with an opinion, I like to think that I have insight as well. And that's what kind of keeps people here. That I might say something that pisses you off every once in a while, but actually between me and the expert fans that I bring on the show, that it's actually a very educational experience. I would like to just say that because people be like, hey, man, give him credit. He posts a lot of stuff. Like, that's the only you can say. I mean, I'm just saying, I think it's pretty good what I do.
Yeah.
So I would say that.
No, I love it. It's not just quantity. You got a lot of quality too.
Yeah, I feel like people give me that quantity thing. I'm like, man, that's not really a compliment.
Yeah. It's kind of a backhanded compliment.
It's kind of a backhanded compliment. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, well, he does a lot.
Yeah, you can't knock that. He's got a work ethic.
Like, no, I think it's the difference between McDonald's and In-N-Out. McDonald's produces a lot, but the quality isn't there. But
that's what I'm calling me. Like McDonald's,
quality.
Man, I'm not making freaking fillet of fish over here, man. I'm making some good stuff.
I love it. Okay, and then the second one I had for you is a take that I wanted to share, and I wanted to hear your thoughts on it as well.
Sure.
I wanted to do most underrated 49ers player post Joe Montana, Steve Young era. So let's just say maybe 2000 to now. And here's my take.
Overrated?
Underrated, sorry.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is I think it's Jeff Garcia. Because honestly, he kind of gets overlooked because he didn't have that long of a tenure. But when you look at his numbers, I mean, he's really been our best quarterback I think we've ever had since Steve Young. And, it kind of ended poorly, but he had a few really good seasons. He had one season where he threw over 4,000 yards. Yeah. He brought us to the playoffs, and I think that was the first ever 49er game I ever went to, is when he played the Giants.
Epic comeback.
I got a soft spot for Jeff Garcia, and I feel like people hate on him.
I agree. I mean, if you're talking post Steve Young era, Jeff Garcia is the best quarterback the Niners have had.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of fans wouldn't give him that.
About him.
Nope. People say Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick, Jimmy. Jeff Garcia was better than all of them. He moved better than all of them. He was more daring than all of them. He was more creative than all of them. He was better than all of them. Yes, I agree. The most underrated 49ers player of the past 20 years.
And Bay Area born. I mean, he was from San
Gilroy.
Jose State, all that stuff, right? He's our boy.
He grew up in Gilroy, went to Gilroy High School, and went to San Jose State. And I guess what happened was he played Stanford when Bill Walsh was the head coach and was like the only reason San Jose State was competitive or won. And Bill Walsh remembered him. He floated around in Canada, playing in, like, I think he replaced Doug Flutie, won a championship and an MVP. I believe Bill Walsh brought him in. Steve Mariucci wanted to cut him. Bill Walsh said, "Over my dead body," and that's the legend of Jeff Garcia.
There you go. And T.O. still hates him. So.
Also, most overrated player of the last 20 years, T.O.
Oh, okay. That's a bold take. All right.
T.O. People don't remember, but he would drop passes left and right. And he was just brutal on his coach and quarterback, which, I mean, how many teams got rid of him in his prime?
Yeah.
The Niners, the Eagles, a lot of teams.
And the funny thing is, he's still arguing, 10 years later that it's their fault and not his.
I can't take him, man. He's like one of these guys who never would praise anyone else. I was at his little Hall of Fame induction with the Niners. I don't know what it was. He got inducted to the Hall of Fame, and the Niners gave him a ceremony at a game, and he was talking to the press. And usually when people get inducted to the Hall of Fame, they thank coaches and teammates. I couldn't have done it all by myself. They try to be big. Yeah, couldn't have done it without this one coach or this one guy. All he said was, "Man, this coach never believed in me. This quarterback never gave me the ball. This coach said I couldn't do it." It's like, dude, you're 50 years old, man. Let it go. T.O., let it go.
He's kind of like the because I think he has a YouTube channel now, and he kind of posts stuff. And I love him. I love everybody, but he does. If I have to be honest, he does remind me of kind of the dad that just never, he wished he could get in a time machine and still play high school football. He kind of seems like that type of guy. He's kind of still living in the good old days.
He's like the second or third leading receiver of all time, man. Like, let it go. You proved everyone wrong. You're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got to take some more calls. I think
Thanks, brother.
I'll see you later. All of a sudden, my service isn't any good. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, it's terrible. Hold on. Am I glitchy? It looks like I'm glitchy. Sad about. Hold on. Let me put it on the my hotspot. All of a sudden, the internet doesn't want to work. That's weak. Hold on. Hotspot time. Hotspot time. Personal hotspot. On. Yeah, I want that. Hold on. Give me that hotspot. Yup. No. Where you at? Just a second, everyone. There you are. Is that better? Not necessarily. I don't know. TN49er. Am I all glitchy?
Oh, no, you look fine.
Okay, all right, cool.
It was doing it at first, but it looks
right.
good now.
All right, cool, man. How you doing?
Doing great, man. You made me a superstar after that last clip, man.
I tried.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Your show, man, your platform. I was calling today. I'm actually at work, so I might have to jump off.
Okay.
Real abrupt. But I was calling about the pantheon of 49ers because I've been so busy. I hadn't really had a chance to really follow up most of the other stuff, but I saw you and your dad talking about the pantheon of who's in and who's out. And how can you not put T.O. and
we were just talking about this.
I know.
You give T.O. his due. I don't want to. I'm just negative all the time. So make the argument for T.O. I won't say anything.
Can you tell the story of the NFL without Terrell Owens? Yes or no?
No. You can't.
And
he was definitely I always actually felt he was better than Randy Moss because Randy Moss never went over the middle. T.O. was fearless. He would just drop the ball when you really needed him to catch it sometimes.
But that's the thing, though. T.O. would give you that ridiculous catch, and then it's like, dude, you really just dropped a 5-yard out. But he make up for it with like a slant for 15 that turned 85. It's like, okay, yeah. All right.
You can't hold the drops against him. He was great. It was really the way he talked after losses was so I mean, I guess you can do it. I don't know.
It was bad, but if you go back in retrospect, was he wrong about any of it in terms of the quarterbacks?
No, he wasn't.
I mean, I love Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia was great, but you can't put him ahead of Colin Kaepernick or Alex Smith for that matter. And I'm not talking about those flash in the pan. I'm talking about, did Jeff Garcia win you an NFC championship? Yes or no?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Now let's keep it 100. That NFC championship game against Atlanta. Remember, we were getting killed. Remember what happened? Who took over the game? Cap. And he brought them all the way back. And Navarro Bowman basically made the game-saving play.
That's true.
Against, of all people, I know, Julio Jones.
That's true.
Which
no. Roddy White. I was there. It was
Roddy White. Right. That's right. Because it was kind of like
they should have went to Julio. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, if I remember that, Julio went crazy in the first half and then was MIA second half, the whole second half. But anyway, that was wild.
But, so I think, and then the other thing about it with Cap, you got to look at his impact on the game outside of the game. Now, whether people like it or hate it,
that's true.
The NFL is not going to be the same because of it.
That's a good point. He's in the NFL pantheon.
Exactly. He's
he really is. Yeah,
hands down.
That's a good point.
So with him and Terrell, you can't put them outside. Now, it'll be one of those things. It's kind of like Muhammad Ali when he was doing all this. Everybody hated the guy. Then much later on, it's like, oh yeah, man, Muhammad Ali. I like the way he stood up for that. He was regarded as a draft dodger, un-American, all this other stuff. Now he is the premier athlete whenever anything socio-political.
He's totally deified. Although I would say maybe a little too much, man. He was always really mean to Joe Frazier. Really mean to Joe Frazier. And Joe Frazier always was his advocate. People don't remember that stuff. That was a long time ago. He did.
But he apologized. He apologized.
Now, they worked it out. They worked it out.
We ain't too far apart in age. I'll be 37 in July.
Right,
so
I love Joe Frazier. That first fight, Joe Frazier brought it to him, man. That first one, you got 45 minutes. Watch that on YouTube. The first one, because Ali was just coming out. He hadn't fought in a while, and he took so many left hooks to the face, man. Frazier was great. He was great.
Yeah. That's why you got Ali versus Frazier on everybody's mind anytime there's an epic fight. Now,
that's right.
Very, very crazy story. In elementary school here in Memphis, for whatever reason, he was at my elementary school. And my Muhammad Ali, no joke, I lie to you not. He was just literally in my elementary school, and my elementary teacher was freaking out. She was like, "Oh my God, Muhammad Ali, I gotta get an autograph." She got an autograph, and she made copies for all of us. You know, I think at the time I'm like 6 or 7. I'm like, okay, Muhammad Ali. I mean, I guess. And then I told my grandfather. He was like, "He was at your school?" It's like, yeah, he was there.
You didn't tell me. I could have been there. I would have dropped everything.
It was a sea of people, like literally, like children, adults. I was like, wow, it's outstanding.
You could argue Muhammad Ali is the most important American athlete of all time.
Well, don't forget Kareem, because Kareem was very outspoken as well. It was the three of them. It was Kareem.
Also, that's true.
And Cleveland Browns guy.
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown.
But also, don't forget Joe Louis. It was before the era where he could really be outspoken, but he knocked out Max Schmeling during World War II with the whole world. Is he going to do it? And he had lost to Schmeling before. So that's another guy. People talk about pressure in sports. That's pressure. Hey, that's no pressure, but it's World War II, and you got to fight the Nazi. Although apparently Schmeling wasn't a Nazi. But you got to fight the German guy. Go do it. And if you lose, you just let down the entire Western world. No pressure.
The other half of the Western world that really might not really care about you outside of that. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. But
I gotta let's wrap it up because I gotta take a few more calls before
it's cool, man. It's cool. I just wanted to get my 2 cents in. As I always do, enjoy the show. Rock out. Keep going.
Great to see you, man. Have a good day at work. Sorry you gotta work on a Sunday, but I am too.
It is what it is, baby.
It is what it is, man. All right, see you. Raymond Martinez Jr.
Hey, what's up, G?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, so
always
underrated.
Always calling from the garage, man.
Always calling from the garage, yeah.
Got to.
The most underrated player, in my opinion, I'm gonna say is Dre Greenlaw. Okay. And I'm gonna say Dre Greenlaw for a couple of reasons. All right, so when we first started, I think it was the 2019 season. Everybody remembers how Cohn was playing really, really well. Quan was really good in coverage, everything, run stuffing, everything. And when Quan went down, and Greenlaw got to come in and get an opportunity and play more often, he made them feel comfortable that, you know what, we can eventually move on from Quan. We don't have to stay with this contract. We actually do have somebody who we drafted who we feel maybe can be a replacement. And there were plays that Greenlaw had made at a young age. If people don't remember that overtime game against Seattle, Monday night, Greenlaw over the shoulder interception.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
That is
These are
still
huge
one of the
plays.
sickest interception I've seen from the Niners in a while. That one and Tark's one-hander in 2017 are the two best I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, in the moment too. And
yes, that should have been the game winner. I forget exactly how.
He almost ran it back, but you can tell, unlike certain defenses where they constantly practice returning interceptions for touchdowns.
Yes,
there was so many people running back on that play, and I'm like, why is nobody blocking to get him to the end zone? There was like 3 or 4 49ers up here, and I'm like, there's like one defender left, and he still got tackled.
It's like they never practiced it before, right?
Yeah, that should have been game. So, and then you go back to up in Seattle, the goal line stand, right?
They wouldn't have made it to the Super Bowl if he hadn't made that stand.
So you're talking about a youngster who in big times and in big moments has stepped up. So to me, I always look at that in terms of a guy like, yeah, you can be great, when it doesn't matter, but it's like in those big moments where it's going to come down to what you can do, he steps up.
Yep.
So I look at him.
The Niners have won one game in Seattle the last 10 years because of him. Because of him.
God, that's crazy.
It wasn't because of Jimmy. Sorry, Jimmy.
Yeah, I know. But hey, Jimmy got to get some credit too. Jimmy didn't play too rattled in that game. I'll give Jimmy some credit too.
Yeah, you're right. He was 18 to 22 in that game.
Yeah, but when you think about it, a lot of people, I know they forget this stuff because, there's some youngsters now in the fan base and stuff, and they know who Navarro Bowman is, but they don't know how Navarro Bowman looked in his first 2 seasons, if they don't remember. Navarro Bowman was getting touched. He was getting torched by tight ends over the middle. Navarro Bowman sometimes he would over pursue. He would miss tackles. But we could always see the promise there that Bowman had the mentality of always trying to get his nose into the ball, always trying to make the tackle, always trying to be around the ball. It's just about getting a little more refined. So I see that with Greenlaw's game where I expect him in year 3 to take that next step, especially when you play along all pro Fred. Same thing with Bowman when you got to play with Willis. You learn from these guys. As you see what these guys do from what they do. And I think when you really look back at it, a lot of 49er fans might not agree, but there was a time when Bowman used to just be him and Willis, and then I felt like there was that one season where Bo just took it another notch up. And it was because Bo had those excellent coverage skills.
Yep. So
I look at Greenlaw and Warner, and I'm like, I think this year we're going to have the best linebacker duo this year in the NFL, hands down. Because if Greenlaw takes that next step where it's like, no, I'm not over pursuing anymore. I know what my job is. I'm not making those young mistakes anymore. It's going to be hard to find another sideline to sideline duo that they offer different aspects. Because I look at Tampa and they got some really good talent as well. Levante David and Devin White. But I see Levante David, he's getting up there in age as well too. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to say Dre Greenlaw is my underrated player.
Great call, man. I like that. I was hoping someone would come on and give him some props. I'm glad you did. Good call.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Have a good day.
Peace.
All right, take care. I'll see you around. All right. Jaden, I made you wait 3 hours. I'm sorry. You're the man. How you doing? What's up, bro?
Pretty good. I'm doing pretty good myself.
All right.
So I agree with the last caller with most underrated player, Javon.
Jaden, real quick, is there any way to turn your mic up a little bit? I want to make sure everyone hears you.
What about now? Is this good?
Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so I agree with the last caller that Dre Greenlaw, most underrated player, easy.
Okay.
Because he made really good plays. He already covered them, so I don't think I have to go over them again.
Okay.
But, so I did the research on Geno Atkins.
Oh.
And the reason why he did not play is because in practice, he tore his right labrum in his right shoulder.
That'll do it.
So it was an injury. Yeah. But the Niners have a history of bringing injured players in and making them better. Or not better, but back to what they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So
Jason Verrett.
I think, yeah, Jason Verrett, easy. So I think that's a possibility. Very, very good possibility.
I hear you on that.
I know that we got a good interior, but we don't got a big name there no more. Like we had DeForest Buckner, but now he's gone. So
yes,
that
so
sucks for sure.
So who are you expecting to step up in that interior this year?
I'd say Javon Kinlaw.
Javon Kinlaw.
Him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if they don't have anyone, they could use Geno Atkins. So what do you think is going to happen with Geno? You think he's going to wait till after training camp? He got hurt in training camp last year, so maybe don't do training camp, or was it practice? Practice.
I think it was training camp.
Maybe the Niners shouldn't sign anyone who gets hurt in practice. They got a practice injury problem. I don't know. No, but Geno Atkins is really good, and if the Niners don't get in, that's the kind of player that could go to like Seattle or something. That's the kind of thing they do all the time.
That'd be scary.
Yeah,
I would not
scary
be happy
thought.
about that one.
No. So I'm glad that you're bringing it to the Niners' attention now, so they can at least consider the possibility.
Yes, and then I got another point.
Sure.
Nico Ryans said that there's going to be more wrinkles in his defense, and do you think it's going to be man coverage? I'm thinking, and do you think our players are going to thrive off that?
Jason Verrett will.
Yeah.
Yes, I think they will. I think what you're going to see, the reason the reason they want to be able to do more man coverage is you kind of got to play man. You don't have to. You can do, there are zone blitzes, but there's only so many ways you can do a zone blitz. And that's usually, disguising the 4 you want to bring so you can have the full zone coverage behind it. Usually when you bring 5 or 6, there's man behind it. So it seems like if he does want to be more aggressive with his pressures, then you have to be able to play man coverage, which is one reason why probably Richard Sherman is on this team, because he don't play man coverage.
Yeah, I think Richard Sherman's done. I think he needs to be a coach. Like I don't know who said it, but he needs to be a coach for sure.
Or he could have a podcast. He could be like Joe Rogan, I would listen to that. All right, Jaden.
I was.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was listening to Mike McDaniel's thing when interview with the press when it first came out. I was watching it live, and he sounded so nervous.
He
I
did.
don't know what's up with that guy.
He did. He sounded terribly nervous, right?
He was petrified, man.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll be better in his second time. It was his first one. Let's give him a chance.
Yeah.
It's not always easy, but yeah, he needs to loosen up, man. It's like, it's just a press conference. Anyway, Jaden, I gotta take a couple more calls. Please do. Please shout out.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So my Instagram is like Kittle, like the player _Skittles. No, Skittle, like the candy, 85.
Yep. Kittle _Skittle 85.
Yes.
Okay. Check it out. I'm not on Instagram, but otherwise I'd follow. I promise. I'm just not on it. I'm a boomer.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. Take care, Jaden.
Appreciate it, man.
See ya. All right, hold on. Dylan, and then Mugs and Roses, and then Kobe Bag, and then the show is over. What's up, Dylan?
Hey, Grant. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Is the audio okay?
It's perfect.
Okay, hold on one.
Voice as deep as ever.
Okay.
When did you get this voice? 7th grade, 8th grade? Like, at what point were you rocking this voice?
So that's the weird part is like my voice took forever to drop. Like I was the last. Funny. I was like in 9th grade. It was even weird. Probably like a year ago, and then
that was me. My voice was super high until 8th grade, and then it cracked throughout high school.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a solid voice, dude. You're like a real baritone.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. That's nuts.
Okay. I want to talk about Trey Lance, and I want to make a case for him why he should start.
Okay.
So for one, people talk about Melvin Ingram, Justin Houston, guys like this. If Jimmy's contract is off the books, these guys are probably going to be on our team, right?
Yes. Oh, poor Dylan, man. Every time.
I think
Dylan.
I'll get
Poor
you back.
Dylan. Hold on. Are you there? Yeah, come
Can you
back
hear
in,
me?
Dylan.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Here, start over.
Can you
Start
hear
over.
me?
Yeah, I got you now. Start over. You went out pretty quick. So start over with Trey Lance.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's okay. Dylan, call back in. You'll be next.
Can
All
you hear
right.
me?
Call back in. You'll be next. Call back in. Oh man, people keep sliding in at the end. What's up, Muggs? It's hard to make you
Yo,
wait 2
what's
hours.
up?
How you doing, man? Great shirt.
I'm
Love
chilling,
that
man.
jersey.
It's
Yeah,
I know, man. Deion Sanders.
it's nice. I like
I
that.
love him, man.
All right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with my two most underrated players. One on offense, one on defense, and I'm gonna say my first offensive underrated player is probably Juice. I have to say it's Juice. I have to give it to him. I mean, the guy, he's clutch when we need him. Every time when we need him, or when all of our running backs are out, or when our wide receivers are out, he did the most. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think when we were in the Super Bowl against Kansas City, I think he was the first one to actually get a touchdown on the board, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Him and
he was the
Mostert, they
first guy to
scored.
do it.
Yep.
Yep. And his was like him jumping over everybody to get in the end zone, if I'm
Yeah, he did. He caught it in the flat and he had to work his way in. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll give him credit where it's needed. I mean, if it wasn't for him, we probably would have gotten blown out a lot harder. But Juice does the blocking, does the catching. He just does all the above. And I think he's super underrated compared to everyone else. You know, no one really talks about Juice. You know, they see him as a fullback and that's just it. You know, as a fullback, you are the guy who takes all the lickings and keeps on going. And then on the defensive side, I think I gotta give it to Contavious Street. You know, his rookie year, he didn't really do much. You know, you never really heard about him that much. But his sophomore year, after Nick Bosa got hurt, that's where he kind of stepped up his game. He was more aggressive. He was more, I guess you could say, violent on the you know, on the outside rush. So I'll give it to him for that one. You know, as a sophomore guy, he killed
knocked
it.
out Drew Brees.
Yeah,
He
who
put
could
Drew
say
Brees
he
in
knocked out Drew
retirement.
Brees? Yes,
He put Drew Brees in
exactly.
retirement. He really did. Yep.
What was it? How many cracked ribs and a collapsed lung? My guy.
And they called a flag on him. It was totally clean.
Yeah, easily
Totally
the cleanest hit. And somehow, because you touched Drew Brees the wrong way, you know,
because Drew
you
Brees
get
got
a
hurt.
flag.
Yeah. And like he's Drew Brees and you're Contavious Street. Well, sorry, man. Now he's retired.
Yeah. Now here's a 15-yard penalty and a possible fine. You know, it sucks. But the one question I want to ask you is, do you think it was a mistake letting go of Nick Mullins as a backup QB? Because
I think he should be the number 3 guy behind Rosen and Trey. I don't know why Sudfeld's here. I just don't know why.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't get it either.
I've seen Sudfeld in games. I've seen Sudfeld in practices. Like, he's not good. First of all, he's only thrown 40-something passes in his career. Nick Mullins has 16 games of experience. He knows your system. I just don't get that one.
I don't get it either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be real with you. I was actually really sad when they cut Nick Mullins because I was like, who are we going to replace Nick Mullins with? I mean, that was someone – I was fine with getting Trey Lance and Rosen. I was like, that's cool because Rosen's actually pretty decent. Nick Mullins, granted, he doesn't have a lot of power to his throw, and sometimes he kind of makes mistakes. But the thing is that the guy knows the offense. He doesn't get that much playing time because he lives in Jimmy G's shadow, obviously. And, you know –
I just thought of something, though. Maybe he didn't want to come back. Maybe he saw where this was going, bringing in Trey Lance. It's like, you know what? I'm never getting any playing time there. They like Rosen. They like Lance. I'd be 3rd string. Why don't I go to Philly and back up the weakest starting quarterback in the league? And if Jalen Hurts gets benched or doesn't play well, boom, I'm back on the field. It's a good spot for him because Jalen Hurts, I don't think much of.
I don't think much of Jalen Hurts. I don't think anyone does. I mean, I have a friend of mine who's a Philly fan. He doesn't even think much of Jalen Hurts. So it's
doesn't that make sense? It's a better spot for Nick Mullins. He's closer to playing in Philly than he is here. He's never going to play here.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. That's true.
Good call, though.
I miss him too, man. He's such a great guy. He's one of like the, like, oh, we could do this. Yeah. Great QB.
And he's like one of us, just like a normal guy who just wandered into the facility and became the quarterback. It's a good story. He's like Goodwill Hunting. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, look at him go.
Oh my God. I remember that movie. That was a good movie. Yeah, I remember that.
I got to take more calls, man.
Take care,
I'm up
Grant.
against it. It was great to see you, man. Thanks for waiting again. Appreciate it. All right. Dang, Dylan's been in and out. Hold on. Colby, wait 1 second. I'm going to let the kid in first, and then I'm going to get you. Wait a second, Colby. What's up, Mean? How you doing?
What's up? What's up? I was like,
What's up? How you doing?
I woke up late, and then I was like, damn, I'm already late for Cohn's phone. And then he's
How late you wake up?
I woke up like 20 minutes ago. I woke up at 10, and then I went back to sleep, and I woke up.
Man, when I was 13, I used to sleep until 11:30. Those are the days. Now I just can't. I don't know if other adults.
I don't even know how you wake up that early. You're like, you said you went to bed at 10, and you still woke up. You were on Twitter.
Here's how I
like
wake up
8
at
in the
5
morning.
o'clock every morning. Let me tell you, there is a bird outside my window that wakes up at 5 every morning and sounds like a smoke detector that needs a new battery. You know that little beep you hear from the smoke is hell annoying, and it's like that, but it's like every 4 seconds, every morning at 5 in the morning. So I'm up. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll go put up some videos. Thank you, bird. Anyway, so what's up, man?
So I have a question for you. Who do you think is the most clutchest player on the Niners?
Well, Raymond Martinez Jr. just a minute ago was making the case for Dre Greenlaw. He's up there. I mean, his 2 plays against Seattle in 2019 were 2 of the clutchest plays of the year. And the second one, that stop he made at the goal line, I sincerely believe the Niners would not have made it to the Super Bowl without that play. They needed to win that game. They needed to be the number 1 seed. That play was, had they won the Super Bowl, okay, that play by Dre Greenlaw would be one of the greatest plays in franchise history, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't win it, so it's not legendary like that. But how about Dre Greenlaw? Who else? Not McGlinchey. Sorry, Mike. Not Mike.
Not Mike. Obviously
not
not
Mike.
I'm going to go with the obvious choice. Robbie Gould.
Hey, shout out Robbie Gould.
It's Robbie Gould, easily the most clutchest player on the Niners. I watched the Niners games for like the last 4 years, like when Robbie Gould's been here from like 2017, and Robbie Gould is accurate as hell. Robbie Gould comes up at clutch in situations. If we didn't have if people undervalue Robbie Gould, because like let's look at the Seattle game in 2019, Monday Night Football. We came back. Robbie Gould was injured. Bro, my brother's knocking on my door right now. My little brother's knocking on my door right now. He's like, bro, come out of your room. Play trains.
Your little brother's going to be taking our spot one day. He's the next up-and-coming sports analyst. How old is he?
He's like 3.
Okay, cool.
Not yet.
All right. Not yet. Yeah.
He doesn't know much about sports yet. I mean,
all right. You'll teach him. You'll teach him.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, but it's easily Robbie Gould. Like the game against the Seattle Seahawks in 2019. Robbie Gould wasn't playing that game. And we had a backup kicker who didn't even play in the NFL yet. And he missed 2 clutch kicks. And we could have won the game. We could have beat the Seahawks. We could have been undefeated. And we could have been 10 weeks undefeated, but then he missed a kick. With Robbie Gould doesn't miss clutch kicks. He just doesn't. He misses some easy field goals, but he doesn't miss some when we need him to make a field goal, he does it. When the game is on the line,
he's money.
He makes the play.
Yeah.
We saw when the Seattle game where the kicker couldn't do it. But when Robbie Gould, Rams game last year, 2019, Jimmy Garoppolo made the luckiest throw in his life. He was getting sacked, and he lobs it up in the air to Emmanuel Sanders. And Robbie Gould makes the kick, we win the game. Saints game. George Kittle runs and has like 3 people jumping on his back. He stiff arms them and he makes it to the 30-yard line. Robbie Gould in New Orleans in Superdome, it's one of the loudest stadiums, and he makes the kick. So Robbie Gould is easily the most clutchest player on the Niners. I don't know. People might not say that, but we saw when Robbie Gould wasn't playing and we needed the kicker to make a kick. Another kicker couldn't do it. But with Robbie Gould, when you need Robbie Gould to make that kick, when the game is on the line, when you need Robbie Gould, he comes in clutch.
And that's true. Some people knock him because he doesn't have the length. Like he's not going to hit a 55-yard field goal. But really, you need a kicker who's money inside 45 with the game on the line. And he's one of the most accurate kickers of all time. And I'd like to have him on my show. Robbie, if you're watching, I'm a big fan. I'd like to interview you about how clutch you are and how you do things so well in life. So, I mean, thank you for
Robbie Gould in 2017, 41 for 39, 34 for 33 in 2018. So the man has impressive numbers. He doesn't miss field goals. He doesn't miss field goals or extra points.
No, he doesn't. I mean, go have a great day. Go say what's up to your little brother, man. He's trying to hang out.
I gotta go play trains with him right now.
I like trains when I was 3. I still like trains.
He's taking my trains, man. Like I had this nice mint
Thomas Tank Engine
Thomas trains in the garage, and my dad let him in there, and he grabbed Thomas.
You got to pass on Thomas the Tank Engine, man.
No,
you got to let
I
that
didn't
kid
want
enjoy
to.
it.
I'm like, bro, if he breaks it, I'm gonna get pissed. Like, no, he's not allowed to have my toys. No.
You're a
Those
good
are
big
mint.
brother, man. Go. See you, man.
See ya.
Mint condition Thomas the Tank Engine. No one wants that Thomas the Tank Engine set.
How's it going, Grant?
What's up, Kobe? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. What about yourself?
I can't complain. Where are you calling from?
Rohnert Park, California.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Sonoma County Crushers?
Sonoma County Crushers? No, I don't.
In the 90s, there was a unaffiliated minor league team that played in Rohnert Park. You have a baseball field, and they were a minor league team. Kevin Mitchell was the coach. Kevin freaking Mitchell, who was a left fielder for the Giants before Barry Bonds. Anyway, before your time. What's up, man?
Yeah, a little. Well, I mean, yeah, but so I've got an underrated player that I don't think I've heard anyone talk about. River Craycraft. I think now hear me out, Grant. I know there was a lot of talk this offseason about, trading him for Aaron Rodgers and maybe like a first and a second round pick, but I think he's an asset that we can't really, toy around with like that. We've got this generational player. Let's just keep him on our team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, his skill set is astounding. I mean, first of all, 6'5", runs a 4.2. I mean, he's just physically, he's got it all. And then from what I understand, he's just the pro's pro. So, I mean,
definitely. I mean, I know he was thinking about going pro in baseball and basketball as well, but luckily we've got him on our squad, and I can't complain. And then another thing is, do you think Bosa has reached his ceiling already, or do you think he'll realistically improve much from his 2019 season?
Man, people always set me up. I'm negative on Nick Bosa. No, I think no. I mean, I think the injuries are piling up, and if he has one more, I don't know if he'll be the same after that. So I think he can kind of recreate what he did in 2019. But to me, he's like built like a 30-year-old. He's got the injuries of a 30-year-old. Even though he's 23, he seems like he's right in his prime, right? Like I don't see how he could get better. Can he get stronger? Can he get bigger than he already is? I feel like he's there right now.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, with that many injuries at such a young age, I mean, it's not like it's not like his body's just gonna magically,
Here's the thing about these injuries that someone told me yesterday. It's like, you tear your ACL, you basically can't use that limb for like 6 months. So your body changes. It just does. Like you overcompensate, your body changes, and those changes put stress on other things. That's why with Klay Thompson, you see torn ACL, torn Achilles. A lot of times they create these imbalances in an athlete's body, especially if you're older. So,
yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I got to go get my girlfriend fed. So I'll talk to you later, man. Great time.
All right, man.
Great time being on the show. Park. Yeah. Have a good one, man.
River Craycraft appreciates the support. Take care. Hold on. It's Dylan time. Dylan.
Can you hear me?
Get right to it. I'm not going to say a word. Get right to it.
Okay. Trey Lance. I think he should start week 1. Okay. I know I've been one of these people that has been concerned about, if he's going to like fall flat on his face. But you made a point earlier, like how bad could it really be? How bad could it be really? I don't think it could be that bad because
it's not a 4th round pick.
Right.
He's
Exactly.
3rd pick in the draft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It can't be that bad because he has an amazing supporting cast around him, right? I mean, what other quarterback drafted this high has ever had this good of a supporting cast? The quarterbacks that go 1, 2, and 3 always go to terrible teams, right? And I think you could do a lot with Trey Lance, right? I mean, if you can succeed with Jimmy Garoppolo, you could probably succeed with Trey Lance, right? I mean, and even guys like Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard, I think even they could be successful to a certain degree with the 49ers. I don't know if other people notice this, but when I watch the games with like Nick Mullins and Beathard, Kyle tries to pass too much, I feel like. I don't know why you can just hand the ball off. Like, why are you calling a 40-yard play with Nick Mullins under center? Like, what are you doing?
Why are you calling the game
different? I don't either. Yeah.
Real quick, with Trey Lance, people don't realize it, but like people are like, well, he played with 1AA football. He's not going to be ready. I went to the same school as Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz won 7 games as a rookie on a bad team. Trey Lance is on a better team, and he's better than Carson Wentz. Trey Lance put up better
more
numbers in
athletically
college.
gifted.
More athletically gifted, never lost a game in college. Undefeated in college. And
like
Wentz wasn't
interception?
One interception. Wentz wasn't undefeated in college. Wentz wasn't as accurate. He wasn't as good. And he came into the league and won 7 games as a rookie and then was the MVP in the next year before he tore his ACL. So it seems to me like that's the expectation I have for Lance to be better than Wentz was early on.
Yeah, that's another thing about Trey Lance. I think maybe that's part of the reason why they selected him was because his ball security is so good. You see Jimmy, he struggles like with turning the ball over. Trey Lance only had 1 interception. I think that could be part of the reason why they selected him as well. So that's just like my big
manager than Jimmy. Yes.
And
he's
that's,
a winner.
I was talking about. I was talking about use check yesterday. He's able to check down to use check to other guys that'll be there for him. So I think he definitely should start week 1. Yeah, unless like you said earlier, like if he fails in preseason, then obviously don't. But I don't think that will be.
If he looks ready, let him play. If he looks ready, in preseason,
let him play. I think you got to let him play. Yeah, you got to let him play.
Good call.
All right.
Thanks.
Yes.
We got you on.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
You got something else you want to say? No, go ahead. You got
day.
something else you want to say? You got something else you want to say?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I thought I had to.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Trey Lance. So that's really just my biggest point is that he's got the supporting cast to succeed. If you get Jimmy's contract off the books, you can make his supporting cast even better. What's the latest that they can like get the money from Jimmy? Like how long?
Right before week 1.
Right before the season.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll know by then if Trey Lance is going to start?
I think they will. I think the quarterback competition will be over, and they'll. Yeah, they can do it, man. They can make the move. They just got to sell Jed, and they got to sell the front office on it. Players will be sold first, then the front office. Yeah. He's ready. Okay, let's go. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because that's really exciting to me. I hope he starts because I think
me too.
I think like that guy, that not your average sports kid was saying, how he could make that run game even better in specific situations. I think it's interesting to me. All right. Thanks, Grant.
All right. Thanks for calling in, man.
Have a good day. All right. Yeah.
All right. You too, man. Take care. Good call. He's really good. Swaggy.
Hey, what's up, Grant?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I have a question regarding to Trey Lance. So, what in his rookie season, this coming rookie season, what do you think his template, like what quarterback should he model his rookie season after?
Love this question. I keep going to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, if you remember 10 years ago, he was the starter for the Seahawks as a rookie, 16 games. I think he threw less than 400 passes. It might have been 350. I mean, he was the lowest. No one threw fewer passes than him that year. But when he did throw, it was terrifying. Remember, I mean, he would hold the ball, he would throw deep, he would run. He was a playmaker, and I think that's kind of the type of player that Trey Lance is. Again, I think he can actually play exactly how he played at North Dakota State on this team. He threw 19 times a game on average at North Dakota State. I think he can do that here as a youngster because they want to run the ball so much.
For me, I would want him to be Dak Prescott in his rookie season. Okay. Because in his rookie season, he had 23 passing touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. That's like his stat line in his 2016 rookie season. So I think Trey Lance can have that same stat line this year if he starts in week 1. That's why.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because but in the preseason, you saw how he exploded, right, in that Los Angeles Rams game, and so I felt like if Trey Lance this preseason outplays Jimmy Garoppolo, then he can start week 1. And then,
I would think so too. I think maybe an expectation for Lance. Russell Wilson did start a long time in college. Dak Prescott was, I think, a 4-year starter. Yeah. But there was, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz started like 6 more games in college than Trey Lance and wasn't as successful. So there's Wentz, the Wentz template. And then there's also Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray only started 1 year in college, and he was very effective on a terrible team because although he misses reads sometimes and he isn't perfect, he's so much more athletic than everyone else that he's a playmaker. So I think Kyler Murray, Carson Wentz, those are two guys to look at right there. I think where you're going to see the best stuff from Trey Lance early on is the ad-lib stuff, the off-schedule plays. It's going to be something we haven't seen from Niners quarterbacks since Jeff Garcia. Because as good as as athletic as Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick were, they weren't really chaos quarterbacks the way Russell Wilson is, Kyler Murray is, Jeff Garcia was. If you know what I talk about when I mean a chaos quarterback. Like they thrive when things break down. The game slows down for them when things break down.
Yeah.
That's what Trey Lance is going to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Dak Prescott, he won the offensive rookie of the year. So if Trey Lance plays into that level, he can win the award this year after this season. So
look, if Trey Lance starts 16 games, I would consider him the favorite to be the rookie of the year. He's on a very good team. He's got a lot of people helping him. Now, he may not pass enough to win the award, but he could put up rushing numbers. He could put up a lot of touchdowns. We'll see. Swaggy, I got to go, man. But great call.
See you, Grant.
Thank you. See you, man. Take care. All right, last call of the day. Cam.
Hey, Grant. How's it going?
Good. How you doing? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from London in England.
Wow. I'm honored. Thank you for staying up. Thanks for calling.
Thanks. I'm a great fan. I love your dad. And your show with Vish. It's amazing.
Thanks. He's
fantastic.
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah.
I've got a question about 3 players, and I want you to predict what you think is going to happen to them. Kevin White is the first. Travis Benjamin is the second. And I did write down the third, and I've lost my piece of paper. Charlie Werner.
Ooh. Okay, Travis Benjamin, I don't think can stay healthy. He got hurt in OTAs. I mean, he looks like he weighs 150 pounds. He hasn't played in a long time. I don't expect him to make it through training camp. Charlie Werner needs to improve. He spent his whole offseason with George Kittle. He was terrible as a rookie, as a blocker. He gave you nothing as a receiver. I'd like to see him at least be a good blocker because I don't expect him to ever be like Ross Dwelly or George Kittle or Jordan Reed, someone who can beat man-to-man coverage. But if he could just be like Garrett Selleck, someone who can give you a good block and then occasionally leak out in a play-action pass, great. Who was the last one?
Oh, it was Kevin White.
Kevin White. From what I've heard,
it's an interesting one, isn't he? Because he could have the X factor. So much hype when he came into the league, but somehow he hasn't been able to stay healthy.
Injuries, but he's 6'3". He's fast. He's big. I've never actually seen the Niners give him much playing time or targets in practice. I don't know what it is. It's like they want him on the practice squad, and when it's time to call someone up, they call up River Craycraft and not him. I think
it seems to get bypassed.
I'd like to see Kevin White. I think I'm more interested in him than Travis Benjamin, Mohamed Sanu. I think that guy is interesting. He's got actual talent. And, the Niners had success with Jason Verrett rehabilitating him. This guy has just as much talent as more. He was the top 5 pick in the draft.
Yeah,
so we got to keep an eye on Kevin White. Thank you for keeping him on the radar.
Yeah. Fingers crossed he can make it.
Yeah, absolutely. Found money. All right, Cam. Thanks for calling in. I'm glad I got you.
Take care. Cheers.
Right,
bye-bye.
See you next time. That's the show. It's 12:10. I got to end this, write an article, put up 12 videos, and go have a nice day. I'm getting my hair cut today at 2:30, 1:30. No, it's 2:30. See, this is how I get in trouble. Haircut at 2:30. I'll be there. Thank you everyone very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow with Vish and Botan.